done. Intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone, shut up.
I'm not gonna bitch while she's hot.
What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. We got Ty returning to the studio, and we got my co-host Cody. What's going on, guys?
Hello there.
Hello. What are you, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yep.
What are you, a noob? No, guys, thank you for joining the stream. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. If you guys are, please make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. We got a lot to talk about this week, but first and foremost, I want to see how you guys have been up. What have you guys been up to this week? What have you guys been watching or playing or doing?
Well, Ty reminded me of Obi-Wan, and I went down a rabbit hole of watching Obi-Wan has PTSD videos on YouTube last night.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah, where like cuts through like all the different all the 6 movies, because there are only 6, right?
Yeah.
It like, yeah, cuts in all the movies, and it's like it starts with New Hope, where he's obviously because he's only in A New Hope.
Yeah.
But where he's like explaining to Luke like the Clone Wars and whatnot, and then like Alec Guinness that plays Obi-Wan has like 1,000-yard stare during some things where it's like he's actually been in war, and it's like, I served with your father in the Clone Wars, and he just stares off into the distance, and then it cuts to like the Clone Wars stuff. It's really good.
I mean, you might have to share.
Oh, fuck it.
You might have to share that.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, you got to share that to me, because the other one, the one I've been thinking of for Star Wars that really is catching my memory is the there was a Anakin and Obi-Wan. I might have mentioned this last week. Correct me if I did. There was a AI dub over their fight on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith, where it's an AI doing music, but taking the actual dialogue and then turning it into like a rock song. And it actually sounds awesome. It just sounds really good.
Instead of liar, it turns into liar.
I don't fear the dark side as you do. All the lines, like I have the high ground. I mean, all of these lines are in the song and they're all like in order. It's dubbed over the original video. So it sounds awesome. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
I'll share it. You know what?
It's over, Anakin.
Yeah, okay. You know what? We got to pull that one.
It's over.
So what have you been up to, Ty? What have you been watching or like checking out this week?
Well, when I'm working from home,
They
I'm
get to
watching.
hear this from me.
I'm watching Big Bang Theory lately.
Really?
Yeah, it's just something to kind of have on, but it makes me laugh.
You should watch the whole thing without the laugh track.
Oh, that's a
Laugh track. What's a laugh track?
It's after every line they say, there's giggling from the audience.
Oh yeah.
Get rid of that. It's like
That's
the
kind of
show.
funny.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a good point.
This is I could pull it up. I don't know. I don't know if we could get copyright for this, but I think we could play like 2 minutes, like 20
I
or
don't
so.
think Elf Tale Films will get you.
Probably not. Let's jump over to that real quick. I want to just show this to you guys in the audience.
She's got a microphone.
He's been talking about this for weeks.
I've been talking about this for weeks. Yeah.
They all got microphones.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they.
That's
Okay.
good.
Here we go.
Till now, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy. Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire. Don't make me kill you, Anakin. My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try. I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you. I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. From my point of view, the Jedi.
I'm spending too much time on it, but I thought this was the funniest shit. I saw it on Instagram for the first time. That was the first time I ever saw this. And on Instagram and in shorts, it's only like 20 or it's only like 40 seconds at a time. So it's not the whole thing.
Is that the best fight, or is it
Duel of Fates?
Duel of Fates.
Shit, that's a good question.
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that was a good fight.
It's-
scene.
like it's commonly referred to as Duel of Fates because that's the symphony, the song, and the song playing over top of it. But when everyone refers to it, they're always calling it the Duel of Fates. Even though that really is just the reference to the song.
Makes sense though, because it was the duel of fate.
Yeah, exactly.
Anakin's fate.
Yeah.
Because if Qui-Gon lived, Anakin wouldn't be such a cuck.
He was a bitch boy.
Honestly, he really wouldn't be, because I think Qui-Gon didn't believe in the Jedi.
Do you guys
Liam
All of
Neeson's
the
my
Jedi
boy.
stuff.
do you
so.
guys think that Obi-Wan and Padme got it on while Anakin was away? Like, do you guys think he like because Anakin was jealous and stuff?
No, he had a thing for that one chick in the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, but the reason he kept turning her down was
For
because he was
Mandalore. It's
actually
deep
hooking up
lore.
with the Padme. That's what's up. Obi-Wan was
fucking both.
he
those
was throwing it
bitches.
around.
He's throwing
If he did, I think he had permission.
I mean,
Well, I wasn't thinking he was like going all Sith on her.
how do you turn down "Hello there"
Hello
as you,
there.
as you walk in the door?
I mean, you could hate you
What
could
a line.
you could hate the spinoff. Yeah, that is a solid line.
What a line.
Hello, Darth. How you doing?
I don't need a pickup line. It's just "Hello there."
Mhm.
Yeah. My old one used to be ladies.
Yeah, it wasn't even directed to one person. It was directed to all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you get
Come as
better
you
odds.
are. Come as you are. We
You
take on.
Slide walk into the bar. You're like, "Ladies, I'd like to proposition you."
It didn't work.
Yeah, the adding of the microphone over the top of this was pretty good ad.
Yeah, it's funny.
I just enjoyed the hell out of the AI.
Yeah, now you're gonna watch later. Obi-Wan has PTSD, and it's sad.
Oh, I'm absolutely checking that out. That's the next thing I do.
Oh fuck.
I feel like Obi-Wan was the chosen one, actually.
Obi's the best.
No, Luke was the chosen one. He brought balance. He was the one who brought balance to the Force.
No.
He was.
Anakin still did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
He tossed that Sith Lord down that hole, but he did come back. Somehow, Palpatine came back.
Well, that's the problem with Disney is that they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, they totally destroyed the.
The entirety of the like ethos, the lore of Star Wars was completely wrecked by Disney. So there's the chosen one. There's the chosen one prophecy in Star Wars, and everyone thinks Anakin was the one to fulfill the prophecy because he did, but he didn't though.
He
Luke
did.
He did, and I mean, the prophecy was to bring balance to the Force. Anakin legitimately did that, and then took it a few steps further.
No,
So he did it.
Well, you also
and then
gotta
he took it
argue
further.
what George Lucas meant as in balance, because some people think it's like there's equal parts dark, like Sith and Jedi in the universe. But in actuality, what he meant by balance is that there was only good. There's only Jedi. There's only the good side of the Force.
well, this is why Luke did it better. So this is Luke did it better.
Luke didn't do shit.
So when Luke in
He just talked to his daddy for a little bit.
yeah, he brought the balance. He brought the balance. He talked his dad out of killing him. That is a brave fucking kid move. That is like, imagine trying to talk your dad out of being grounded and how people fail at that. If your father is convinced he's got to kill you and you talk him out of that shit,
Yeah, talk your dad out of beating your mom.
I don't think I've talked my dad out of not grounding me a single time. So I don't think I could save my life for it.
Yeah, same.
If he was hard convinced, I don't think I could have saved
It's
myself.
like your mom doesn't dry the can opener off properly, and your dad starts swinging. Then
Is this because I overcooked the roast?
and then Luke comes in. And is like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this.
But no. Okay, so
Luke, chosen one move.
Luke had equal parts evil and good in him by the end of it.
oh yeah, he still had the
That's-
same like
he had
temptations
balance.
as his dad.
Yeah, he had balance though. He had balance by unleashing his hatred and using it and then controlling it. Luke had balance, so there was no additional Jedi, there were no additional Sith. It was just him. That was it. He was the balance in the Force. Luke did it better. Anakin's got like you could say that because there was a master and an apprentice in the Sith, and then there was Obi-Wan and Yoda somewhere
No,
out in
I'm
the
not
ether.
talking about like that equals balance or anything, but it's like Anakin did end up taking out the greatest threat to the universe.
The Jedi.
Well, he
Agreed.
failed. If you watch the 3 movies, that didn't happen.
No, he did both. He got rid of the Jedi and the Sith.
Balance.
I'll kill his fucking kids again, I swear.
Those younglings.
Well, what is your guys' definition of balance, though? Because to me, balance is you have to have both.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
My balance
no
is the
balance.
gray area.
Here's the okay. No, here's a good
Line.
here's a good reference for my argument. One of the most iconic references in cinema to balance, quote unquote, is when Thanos has his little dagger thing in his hand, right? And he's balancing the dagger on his fingertip. He's like, guys, all balance is all things should be. And he's holding the dagger and it's balanced back and forth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just say so. Like, do you remember this from Infinity War?
I don't.
It's that flashback where he has with Gamora when he's picking her up as a kid.
Oh, I see.
The dagger he gets. So
killed half of her
Yep.
home.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he's like, balance as all things should be. He pulls out the dagger, balances on his fingertip, and gives her a mini lecture as he's murdering her people. And he's like, balance as all things should be, and he shows how the dagger is balanced. Luke is the balance. Luke is that. He is the embodiment of the balance in the Force. He was the one who brought it forward. He solved the issue. Done. Problem solved. Luke did it. That's my reference for how balance is in this universe, in this story.
Yeah, but then Luke fucked off for a few years and drank fucking cow titty milk.
That's Disney. Okay, if we're going to apply Disney
I
illogic,
was doing it as a joke.
you're not
my chosen. one.
not funny.
No way.
You're not my chosen one. You're not my
He
president.
tried to murder his nephew because of a bad dream.
That was a trippy dream, dude.
But technically, Anakin brought balance to the
I'm
Force.
Team Anakin, dude.
Yeah,
No,
they both did.
do we need to
It
put
was the Skywalker family.
the Skywalker family brought balance?
Yeah.
So a family of all good people brought the balance between good and evil?
No, Leia was a slut.
Yeah. Great.
You just say, yeah, she was. Oh, yeah.
She just hopped on the first space trucker.
I heard that Jabba didn't even want to put her in that chain.
Yeah.
She just did it.
I think Jabba
Just
was
found a
actually-
chain somewhere. It
found
was
a
like,
costume and
it
a
was like,
chain.
bring your chain to work day. It was
Well, this is where I'm sitting now.
It's like, all right, you're gonna be in my company for a while. It's like, dress,
Have fun
for
with
the
it.
parts.
Have fun
Yeah,
with
It's
it.
up to you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a week long rave.
This whole diatribe about Star Wars could have easily been its own episode. It's gonna be so much freaking fun to talk about
I
this
think
instead.
Jabba was the chosen one.
That's what makes a great movie.
Well, and then Disney fucked it all. We all know Disney fucked it all because then they had the power of one, the power of two, and the power of many, all in one, not balanced at
Power
all.
of many.
That was the Acolyte. I'm assuming you didn't check out the Acolyte though, Tyson.
No, I don't know what that is.
So good. You know what? I will spare you. I will
Most of the public doesn't.
keep my mouth shut. I won't say a word about it except that it was trash. It is the thing that killed Disney, Star Wars.
It was a Star Wars show on Disney, which no one watched,
Oh, okay.
and they spent.
You know, Cody-
They focus on the war too much. I said this last week, but the whole point of the movie was about the Force. And when Disney started making movies, they went away from that. Like, there's hardly anybody using the Force.
Well, it's just a rebranding.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Instead of the rebellion, it's the resistance. Instead of the empire, it's the
Yeah.
first order.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, and the entire Force Awakens, the entire supposed seventh movie or seventh chapter of the story was basically a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope, where you find the chosen one on a desert planet who's forced to like go off on an adventure to destroy the new Death Star and fight the new Empire, and then they meet
Your new empire.
a new female Yoda, but also they're picked up by Han Solo and Chewbacca again. Because this it's a shot-for-shot remake of like A New Hope, except it's somehow so much worse.
Han Solo's a dad that went out for smokes and never came back. And
Yeah, poor Han, man. That guy got done so dirty in that movie.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was all for it. It's like, dude, I want this character. I've wanted this character to die since '83.
Which is weird because it's honestly, it's not like Harrison Ford's career has been fairly balanced between great films, like culturally impactful forever films, movie that will never be unimportant, and then you have like the Star Wars and the goofy Indiana Jones movies. And I'm talking
There's
like,
only 3 Indiana Jones movies. We can go like,
dude, I don't have to make
around
this
with
argument.
All these like old series, it's like, oh yeah, there was a 4th and a 5th. It's like, no, there was.
Dude, I don't have to make the argument that Indiana Jones got absolutely ruined by Lucasfilms. South Park already did that for me. I don't have to make the argument because South Park already carries the brunt of my argument for me. So, do you remember that South Park episode, Tyson? Where
I don't.
we gotta watch. You
There's
gotta
only about 4,000 South Park episodes.
It's, like squeal like a piggy.
Oh my god,
Yeah, they're doing that to Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones.
it's so much fun.
That was when the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out.
That was so.
So that
good.
had been like 08.
That was. Oh my god, was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Damn.
We are old fucks.
We are the old folks.
I'm actually 52.
What?
Yeah.
Liar.
True story.
You look great.
I know.
How do you look worse and
I'm
better?
soulless.
I'm
I'm eternal.
I am a I am an Eldic god. All right, should we jump into stories, or do you guys want to hear about my week?
Oh, no one gives a fuck about your week.
Sounds like you
You
want
had your first
talk about your week.
Soulsborne though.
Yeah. Okay, so like on Thursday we started a new series on the channel where we're doing like reviews of newer games that have come out, and so one of us will play the game while the other members of the Sunday Slackers will all hang out, watch, and observe,
Shit about
talk about it.
how shitty this person is at the game.
It was insanely fun, guys. If you're joining the stream, go check out Thursday's review of the first Berserker Kazan. It was super fun. Had a blast. A lot of laughs in it. It's a new series for the channel, so stay tuned for more Thursday episodes like that. But yeah, it was my first Souls-like game, and I loved it. I was hooked. I know I was playing in an easier difficulty, and that was mainly so that we can get further into the game to acquire and see more stuff.
Like we said multiple times during the review, it's for review purposes. But you should switch to normal and see how, because it's like you're getting like almost like quote unquote like euphoric after you defeat a boss or whatever. It's like,
yeah, it feels good.
I fucking conquered that. It feels even better in harder difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I love the struggle. I'm addicted to the struggle.
I
got a boner for murder.
Do you remember when playing on like, okay, so this is actually a whole different conversation. Legendary difficulty and like extremely high difficulty. You had a bunch of people in the gaming industry who were trying to get rid of difficulty. They were trying to get rid of like harder difficulty levels to make it easier for everyone to play the game.
It was reviewers.
Yeah, and
they couldn't review From Software games. From Software is the one that puts out like the Souls games one.
Yeah.
So there's like, you need to put like an easy difficulty in this so like we can review it. Because they couldn't finish it on time.
And I love that.
That's a good game.
Well, the game shouldn't. I mean, your game should have the thing every game is designed to be itself, and if you let the audience affect too much change in your project, it no longer becomes yours. It's something different.
It takes away from the Soulsborne experience. Like Souls games. I mean, I'm very interested in them and whatnot, but they're not for me.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a chill out game guy instead of like
stress hard over
lose
it.
my fucking mind punching holes in my wall.
I'm the opposite. I really am.
You like the harder difficulty? You like the harder difficulty games?
I love like baseball and golf.
Yep.
And that correlates directly to the video games I play. If I'm not failing 80% of the time, it ain't for me.
Well,
I love that struggle, man.
I want to ask you about this. So you probably have more perspective on this than Cody or I. Maybe Cody has more than I do. But when it comes to like the new sports games, they basically seem to be, and the industry's complained about this a lot.
It's the same thing over and over.
They're reskinning the same old games, and they usually come out buggier and with more microtransactions, less new features or new creative mechanics in the game. I mean, are you, like, as someone who plays some of those, do you find that to be the case? Like,
I don't enjoy sports games because there's no way for them to do it, but it's not like realistic. You know, you want to up the difficulty. All it really does is make the computer players faster, which like it's just not realistic. And
right.
So
you got a 400-pound dude with a 99 speed.
Yeah. You're playing on legendary mode, and that guy runs all the way to your receiver down the line and picks him off.
Yeah, the only good sport, like I got it's college football 2024.
That's a fun game.
It's a fun game. I mean, I'm more in the career, where it's like create a character and you go into that, and it's just bare bones kind of just.
I really want more football games to. I really want more football games to leave the NFL licensing behind. Like, we don't need more football games that have the same I don't want a video game that has the 2025-2026 roster in it. I just want a new football game with better mechanics, things that are more fun to do.
Yeah, like like the Blitz.
The Blitz.
Oh my God, what a game. That was the best game ever. I agree.
Where like your dude gets injured and you be like, well, we can juice him or put him on the sideline. It's like, no, let's fucking juice this guy.
When you're tackling somebody and you get the option, it goes, press this button to tackle him, press this button to break his fucking neck.
Well, and
Yep.
in this, well, and do you remember in this was much earlier, the GameCube, we had NFL Street and NFL Street 2, where they had Game Breaker,
Love
and they
that
had
game.
the NFL Street games had so much ingenuity in them. Like they had so many cool mechanics. With Game Breaker was an awesome mechanic. The RPG system where you build your own like player. You have basically like a map conquering where you have to go area by area to defeat teams and stuff. They had so many cool ideas in that it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore in modern football games, which is really disappointing. But if you had, like when I was playing NFL Street, I didn't give two flying fucks about the NFL roster that was in the game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know or care about any of those players. I was just playing the game and having an absolutely great time.
Yeah.
I would expect that you could make a football game without the NFL being referenced at all and without any of the same players that are in the NFL, and just did kind of what like Street did, mechanics wise.
They had an NBA one too, which
They-
I played the shit out of that.
NBA Street.
That,
Like,
yeah.
create your own character and you go through like street games and all that shit. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Very relatable to like the NBA Jam back from on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
All of us to dunk, you jump about 40 feet in the air and do 45 windmills and slam her
Corner
home.
three. Corner three.
Take off from half court.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, when it comes to sports games though, it's like
EA and 2K have a monopoly.
yeah, they have a total monopoly, and therefore there's no reason to innovate, and that's why you get the same sludge over and over again. And then people buy because you're like the team building aspect to like FIFA and Madden and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It generates them so much fucking money towards like we don't have to innovate. We just have to do a roster update every year.
Yeah, well, I think they do a great job, like going after their target market. I mean, you don't fix the wheel if. I mean, they're obviously going after people in college because they're in and out in 4 years. Then a new generation comes in, and you're playing all day with your buddies. Like, that's who's going to buy the game.
Yes.
We got a comment here. I would argue that Topgolf for Oculus does a good job of managing difficulty with different terrains of and courses.
I agree
On
with that.
Oculus, huh?
So I have not played a ton of VR games, and the reason I mainly stepped back from VR was because I thought the technology. I wanted to see a lot of improvement in the technology before I wanted anything from the VR experience, and then I went to start. Once I saw that the Oculus was getting better and things were improving, there were a couple of games that I looked for. One of them was Alien Isolation, and then the other one was Pavlok.
Yeah.
Which-
You want to play Alien Isolation on VR?
I did really badly.
Oh, you do want to shit your pants.
Well, I like horror games, so I went to download those two games on the Oculus, and it turns out you had to have like. I didn't realize this at the time. This was news to me back when I was trying to do this, but you had to buy it on Steam, and then you had to download a certain tool in order to use it with your Oculus, and then you had to run the Oculus plugged into your computer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that makes some sense. Like, it's not complicated to understand why that had to be the case. But if you were just learning that, it would be kind of frustrating to realize you bought a $300 Oculus system and then you had to do all these extra steps to play the only two games you had a real interest in trying.
Yeah.
And every year they're coming out with better VR.
Well,
Exactly.
I tell you what, that Top Golf game though is pretty accurate and it's fun, and you can play with your buddies. I get so dizzy on those things. Like I got one of those for Christmas, loved it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to explain. I get
Just
motion
keep on
sick.
throwing remotes into my
Well,
TV.
it's your Cody. Can you look up who the developer of Topgolf is? I want to know if that's EA. So basically, that would be kind of good to know. The reason you get like a lot of people get motion sickness with VR is because your measurement of distance is completely scuffed. So as you kind of take like a step forward, your brain thinks you're only taking a little step forward because that's the screen that's in front of it. So your brain is competing with the information it's getting from your extremities, like your feet, and what it's seeing. So it's trying to reconcile what it's seeing versus what it's feeling, which
Yeah.
are two contradictory things.
It makes sense. I mean, but then why do I get that way on roller coasters?
Well, it's a different feeling. It
Feels the same.
yeah, but I mean, if you get like, okay, I can't explain what the roller coaster thing is. I can make a case for the VR thing, but I can't really.
You've just been myth busted.
What? Nothing's been busted. You're busted. Any update on
Well, Top Golf is more of just its own brand that has locations and whatnot to just hit shit.
Gotcha.
Doesn't show up in VR at all. It's like not made by any company or anything.
Okay.
So it's like
It must
Do you
be a
go-
different name.
like we have a Sweet Shots in town, and like people call that Top Golf, or they call it
Yeah.
a bunch of other things. It's just the golf.
Driving range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what that game is called on the Oculus, but
I mean, that's probably what it's. I mean, it's probably just that. I mean, it's probably just like some imported version of that same game.
well, you're
It's a
playing real
poor
courses.
man's version of golfing.
Yeah, I can't afford golf. All right, we should probably jump into stories now. But
It's
that
a white person's game.
that was fun. That was kind of fun to go over though. All right, we're gonna talk. All right, guys, we're gonna move into our first story. We are gonna be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement, and we got a lot of stories to talk about with this. We're gonna take our time, go through it. It's been an interesting week. This has been the majority of the news around the gaming industry has been centered around the Nintendo announcements. So, first off, I like the Switch. I hate the controllers, but I like the concept. I like the premise. I like the portability aspects of it. I like that it's one of the only console that really is pro couch gaming, split screen gaming. Like most of the consoles do not lend towards that at all. And they have not put any games on the market that have really tried to push for that, save for maybe a few outliers. But the general like theme of Switch is that it is a family console to play family games on. I love that. I do like that from a console.
Yeah, Nintendo stayed true for a long time with that motto.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they fucking way up their game because they went from the Wii, which was like, it's fun,
Yeah.
you got your party and whatnot, to the Wii U, which no one fucking bought.
No.
And then they came out with Switch, fucking 5 years after that?
They sat on the Wii U for a long time, which was really weird because the Wii was not.
Well, they're just like, all right, we need to redo our entire, we need to rethink our entire,
Platform?
gaming
Yeah.
industry. And it's like, the CEO of Nintendo gave away, some of his salary because of how shitty the Wii U did. They're just like, all right, well, no one's getting paid right now, so I guess it's like,
I'm not getting paid.
all right, here,
Down.
take some of my salary, you scrubs.
You know what? Down with the ship is a good mentality for a leader to have.
Respectable move.
That
It
is,
is a respectable move.
I mean, you know how American companies do it. They're like, no one's getting paid. I'll take that money.
I'm gonna make a new company. Fuck you guys.
You just know China's doing everything right.
They just got it figured out. China, Japan, Vietnam, they all got it down.
They got them just them
Them Ma?
No.
Is that the name of the developer? The Ma?
The Jizma.
them
The Jizma?
jiggle physics on point.
The, okay.
Have you seen the new character?
No,
for,
I-
Marvels.
Yes, I have seen. Well, no, I have not seen the new one you're probably referencing. I saw the old ones, and that was enough. Damn, that could put that could put an old man in a coma.
That's all anyone's talking about.
Well, when you go to like the history of Nintendo and you start with like the OG Nintendo, Super Nintendo, it keeps going up from there. I hated the Nintendo 64, and I understand like from a technical aspect.
You don't like that you need a third hand in order to play some games?
An alien, it's made for aliens. It's not real. It's made for just Japanese people who have tentacles, I guess.
That controller is like a sex toy.
That thing is fucked up.
Every Nintendo fucking console has a shitty controller.
They are always
no,
unique
the-
and
no,
simple.
The classic
but
Nintendo,
dumb.
classic Nintendo and Super Nintendo, the square and the oval, those are fine. There was nothing wrong with those controller designs. Actually, if anything, they were probably the most iconic. They're way better than like Xbox.
Oh, definitely. But you don't see it. You haven't seen anything
I'm kidding
like
about.
it.
I'm kidding about the. I'm making a facetious joke about the Xbox thing, but
you were kind of right because Xbox, we all had to evolve basically in order to use the Xbox controller properly.
Well, no
you
one-
gotta stick it in the lower right, you gotta stick in the upper left.
Mhm.
So it's like,
well, but no one thought like
give your granddad a Xbox controller and see how he fucking
well,
works it.
but the weird thing about it is that
Thumbs
the
don't go.
Xbox controller is actually ergonomic. It actually fits to your hand naturally. It just is weird to run the controllers with the way it's structured. But the PlayStation it makes sense from a symmetrical layout, but it is completely inorganic when it comes to like ergonomic. Like it doesn't form fit to your hand well at all. Exception, the PS5 finally fucking figured it out. But the PS4, 3, 2, those controllers do not fit any human being's hands properly. Not a single person.
Yeah, the two togs, right? Yeah, it's not a good controller.
No, the PlayStation 2 controller sucks. It was one of the main arguments during the console wars. And the PlayStation players were like, but it's got better like
We
graphics
are
and
on
stuff.
top because of our thumbs. Fucking learn to use them.
We are human beings. We have advanced. Dude, it's not the
One thing I don't like about Nintendo is like they've had shitty controllers throughout the decades. GameCube was one of the worst. I have a vendetta against GameCube. We've already talked about this. We had a console war about it.
We did have a console war about it, but we now need to relitigate because the
GameCube's dog shit.
the
Anyway,
GameCube is not dog shit.
The one thing I don't like
That
about
game catalog was
we're not gonna brush over this. I am
the
hurt by
game
that
catalog for GameCube was like
it's
just
the same on
mind-blowingly.
every other console.
It was mind-blowingly amazing. First off, if you have Mario in your roster of games, you just W instantly. You don't need.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean Mario Sunshine was horrible, but I mean there were other Mario games like Mario Party, all the Mario Kart, all the different games that were inside of the GameCube. Plus, the GameCube was so popular and so good that Nintendo was forced to make the Wii compatible with those games.
You know who argues for GameCubes? People that didn't have PS2s.
I had a PS2.
It was so much better.
We
We
had
put our
PS2.
GameCube on top of it.
You know that Cody, we've known you since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, I know. I go to your
And
place and play with that shitty fucking.
You
controller,
came
that
over to
shitty
my
fucking
place to play on
GameCube.
all of our consoles, you poor bastard.
No.
You broke bitch.
I had a PS2.
And we had everything else.
You were the first ones to have like a PSC,
A PC setup.
PSC,
PS.
PC where we could play like COD and shit.
Oh gosh, those were the days.
The
That
only reason I was a friend with you.
That's fair enough. Because I didn't have a reason to be a friend with you. I just felt pity
No,
or
GameCube
something.
shit.
GameCube
I'm
is.
standing on that.
GameCube
I'll
is not
die on
shit.
that grave.
I don't know what like the only thing I could possibly go for would be like I don't know what limited titles didn't cross over between platforms. So there would be
It's
like
all licensing shit.
that. I mean that's what I'm saying is I don't know which games were exclusives to which platform. It was decades ago, so I don't know which one was
They
more.
have like a banger Zelda or a banger Super Mario or a banger whatever Nintendo has on the GameCube. Or
Well,
was it all just licensed products
It
that
might
you
have
could
been.
play on any other system?
no, there
They
were.
had some Mario games, but they didn't have like a Super Mario, which bummed me out. But I was pretty entertained by that SSX Tricky.
I-
It was also on different stations.
So
It's not the same.
yeah, I think Cody's point is that the Wii didn't have any
No, the
unique or
GameCube.
the GameCube. Oh, sorry, the GameCube did not have any games that were unique to just the GameCube. Like Nintendo owned this. Sony on the PlayStation, Xbox, or Microsoft on the Xbox couldn't get it. So the GameCube didn't have any games that were just for the GameCube. That's what Cody's point is.
I want to see
And
in
so-
the comments why justify the GameCube? It's like you don't- It did have
Just that. That's it.
PS2 had
We
a
win.
better opening.
It did not
But-
have a better opening. It was like, oh,
Yeah, it would do that, and then it would go. Can't read disc.
Well, stop fucking scratching them up. You guys had smaller discs,
yeah, we did. They
Way
made more
harder
room
to
for more
scratch.
games.
but
More room for more
I
games.
don't even want like, oh, what's your favorite or anything? It's like just justify the GameCube.
Okay, here we go. I got a couple of examples of this. Unlike the PlayStation, the GameCube had accessories, components you could buy to make it compatible with handheld games, like the Game Boy games had all sorts of different things that were before its time. They had the GameCube camera device, which I don't think was very popular, but it existed. It was super innovative. You had the wireless controller functions were pretty new, but GameCube had one of the first with a pairing setup. So I would have to figure out what Xbox had, but because I know PlayStation had a wireless
Yeah,
system.
I wasn't an Xbox
but-
kid. I was a PlayStation kid.
No, I know PlayStation had a wireless one, but I'm pretty sure GameCube had it first with the paired because it had a paired brick that you had to plug into the controller output, and that was how the wireless controller talked to it. It didn't take long for that technology to advance. It advanced within a year, became far better. So very small window of time when that wasn't the thing, but. You had the compartments, or you had the attachments that allowed it to play Game Boy games, which would be then Nintendo exclusives. If you unlock every Game Boy and Game Boy Advance game into your GameCube, you immediately unlock 1 million Nintendo exclusives. So,
Like, what is that controller?
well, I mean,
They never break.
hold on.
They did the
Oh, we need another.
the thumbsticks or whatever that are equated to Xbox, where the left one's higher, the right one's lower. Then they had the D-pad just hanging off in the down low.
You know what's interesting about this is that this is still more ergonomic than the PlayStation controller.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It fits your
PS5
hand better than the
PS5
PlayStation.
Controllers are fucking great.
Why did you have to jump all the way to the PS5, 6 generations of game consoles in order to come up with a one that met your argument?
Okay, they changed very little.
Why did you have to? You jumped from, like, I'm comparing the GameCube to the PS2. You had to go 5 generations deep in order to find a comfortable controller for PlayStation.
It's still great. It's still like, I prefer the Xbox. I do prefer that
I'll pull up the PlayStation controller.
like your
But
left thumb is higher and your right thumb is lower. I do like that
yeah,
because there's something weird with just having your thumb in the same place. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we've been trained as a kid.
yeah.
But like, they've always fucked up their buttons on the right side of the controller. It's like, what is that? You got a tiny B, a huge A, XY or something?
You know
What
what?
the fuck are they even doing?
Well,
They
you know
do that shit with the Nintendo Switch too. It's like, all right, we're gonna copy PlayStation's controllers and whatnot,
Yep.
but we're gonna fuck everyone's brains up. We're gonna put the B where the X is and the Y where the the Y where the square is. And it's like,
Well, you know, this is actually another good reason why the GameCube was a little bit better, because a lot of PlayStation games forced you to use both joysticks simultaneously in order to do camera control.
yeah, just like every fucking platformer or shooter that came out after the 2000s.
Well, most GameCube games did not force you to do that unless it was a first-person shooter almost exclusively. Medal of Honor forced you to use the yellow joystick,
What
but
is this, like an arcade game on rails where you don't have to look around?
well, look, the yellow joystick was obviously a worse. Oh, sorry, the yellow joystick was obviously a worse design than the Sony PlayStation. This one was far more comfortable. This one gave you blisters if you remember playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
I was thinking about that.
That one, they would give you, like, between, there were certain games when you had to spin the joysticks, you would put your palm on top of both and roll your palm.
No, you would do that.
Yeah, but it would give you blisters.
Took the surface off of every one of our controllers with that game.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, at the same time, it was still pretty great. I was still the best. I was the best there ever was.
See, I like that controller because, as a little kid, it straight up tells you which buttons you're going to use more.
That's true. That's true. PlayStation is a bitch.
You're gonna use a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you're dyslexic and you look at a PS2
I don't
controller?
give a fuck about your disabilities, bro.
Meanwhile, which button are you going to use the most, Cody? The green's at the top. That must mean it's the most important. Idiot.
Wrong.
You're a
All right.
dumbass. Your
All right.
controller is made for stupid people.
I do have to call it Ratchet and Clank right now.
Love
old
RNC, yeah.
old PlayStation games is because triangle used to be the back button in every game up until a certain, like, I don't know, 2010 or something, and then circle ended up being the back button later.
Yeah.
So it's like you go back and play old games and you're hitting circle and it's like, oh, you just entered another cutscene. No, you just
Meanwhile,
no, leave me alone. I want to back out.
back at GameCube, we have the obvious back button.
Yeah.
So everything you bring up just proves you more wrong.
Yeah, nothing's getting confused there. Plus, you can throw it at a TV at least 400 times.
And nothing will break because it's just hollowed out plastic.
And they made TVs different back then, too.
Yeah,
They almost
out of
built them for game.
Out of solid glass, so Tyson couldn't break them.
PlayStation controllers fucking break a lot.
Yeah, oh, that too. I mean, to be fair, I will say that the like these types of controllers, like the third market controllers, where they like redesign where it's like hard in the middle is stupid. These designs where they made the like everything just bullshit. It's stupid. You're
Well, it's like, okay,
Like
so
third party-
I didn't grow up with like Nintendo or whatever, but when it comes to a controller, everyone knows X square, triangle, circle. Everyone knows
it goes up, up, down, down, left, left, right, right. Start, select, or select, start.
A X Y B. It's like, and then Nintendo comes along and almost tries to mimic with the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They try to mimic, and then they just fuck up. They could have just said, "Hey, the A button is the low one, the Y button is the top one." They
Mhm.
could have just copied, but no, they got to change everything. So everyone in their mind is like, "All right, press Y to continue." And it's like, "All right, it's up here." Oh no, it's actually to the right or left or whatever the fuck it is.
So, I mean, when it comes just to simplify like the conversation
they-
down to like controllers, like we probably didn't convince you that Sony is not the best controller. I mean, you probably still believe that. But
No, it's not the best control.
but I will say that the GameCube controller fit your hands very well. It was a very simple design.
It's your puny adolescent hands.
Well, also the GameCube was designed for like 4 players to play simultaneously, whereas the PlayStation needed an accessory in order to be compatible with getting multiple people to play it simultaneously.
For
Fucking
us
Sony.
incels.
Yeah, people without friends.
Yeah.
People without friends.
All you extroverts out here with your Nintendos.
So I mean, yeah, the GameCube has a lot of
Sit at
advantages to
home
it. It was
playing
better.
Tiger 99.
It was better for couch gaming. It was better for so it was better for couch gaming. It came with more accessories. It was more innovative. It had more features. It had a great catalog. It unlocked the Game Boy catalog, so you had handheld games that you could play for it. So the catalog of games argument, where they don't have any unique games, they have the most unique games because they brought in their entire fleet of handheld games. So they have the most unique
So I
games.
don't even know if I went this far or whatever, but I'm saying like GameCube is the worst. Like
That's-
N64 and everything is so superior
It's-
to the N64.
it's-
The GameCube.
It's not though. There's only like the only game that really gets referenced in that conversation, and there are other games too, but GoldenEye is the only example of a game people will bring out as a
That's the
breakaway
only
game.
one?
Well, you give me more. It's your argument.
Yeah, Pokemon Stadium, a bunch of other games that I have up in my room that I haven't looked at.
Did you don't know? I mean, so they're really obviously they left an impact. They really changed
They did.
the one. What I will say about the Nintendo 64 is that the 64-bit graphics were revolutionary for the time. Doubling the performance of the previous consoles was innovative as hell and was really necessary for gaming to advance. So there was a lot of reasons to like the Nintendo 64, but the game catalog was not one of them.
No, because it's still just like Nintendo games, which Nintendo went back to that. They stopped. No, did they? All right, I can't make that argument. But when it comes to consoles, everyone praises the GameCube, and I don't know why. I think it's trash. I've always thought it was trash.
Well, what are we telling you? Like Steelman, what we were saying, like just in good faith, just tell us that you at least heard what we were
Yeah,
telling you.
games, you like a controller, but it's like everyone else already had those games too.
Well, not the Game Boy, and not the exclusives, and not the Nintendo like
Yeah, it's
handheld
like if you're
games.
into like Pokemon and shit.
It's not. It's better for couch gaming because it's factory designed for 4 players.
Nintendo's always been more of a couch gaming.
Well, and think about what generation we grew up in where that was the norm.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to play
Well,
multiple,
what did we end up playing all the time instead of your GameCube when it came to couch gaming? It would have been Halo on an Xbox.
well, that was years after it was like the. I mean, that was
It'd been
years
like
after.
3 years after.
That's because there was 2 of you.
Right.
I think most people that like the GameCube probably had like 2 or 3 brothers.
Yeah. They were groups of
I
people.
didn't have any brothers.
You were alone.
You are alone.
You are you are alone. The PlayStation is great for people who are alone.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
But that's it. If you're
If you want to have fun with friends and shit, get yourself a Nintendo, you queers.
well, now it's moot now because it's moot now because you could play almost anything you want online with your friends.
Well, that was the most heartbreaking thing about the Switch. I honestly bought it, well, to entertain me when I'm on like flights and shit.
Yeah.
But I bought it thinking I'm going to be able to access the old GameCube games that I never got to play. I'm so excited.
Yep.
Only fucking console they don't have on there.
Well,
You can access almost everything
Because
from
all
the
the
90s.
games were licensed and everyone else already had them.
And I get it. It just hurts.
we got a ton of like stuff in here to talk about, but what I wanted to see if this article covered was they do have a new store. In the announcements they were talking about they have a new store for Nintendo where they will have Nintendo GameCube. So Nintendo Switch Online expands with GameCube support. Nintendo Switch Online will now support GameCube titles as part of the expansion pack, including Zelda, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, which they also in like the trailer they had like a really cool like teaser trailer. They added characters to Soul Calibur 2. They F-Zero GX. These games will support local and online multiplayer for up to 4 players. Now,
I bet to download those games digitally, it cost a fucking arm.
well,
I got really excited when I read that.
more importantly,
Less excited when I saw what they're including.
well, more importantly, so this is still like early. This is still very early. They have not done it before, and they still need to acquire licensing for a lot of the stuff. So this is
Spend the money, CEO. Spend the money.
the audience wants this, but this was this actually held me back with the Xbox One for a long time, because when you had the Xbox 360, there were a ton of amazing games on the Xbox 360. Xbox One comes out and they're like, it's backwards compatible with all these titles. And then they left off like 4 of my favorite games for like 10 years and never put them on.
I remember those days. That was frustrating.
And
It
so
only took a decade for them to get it on this.
well, and so my point is that while this is actually really good news, if we get some of the games we want, the licensing will be the trick, and we don't know what that will look like yet. So I'm hopeful, and I want that to be the case. But no matter what, I will always think the Nintendo Switch's controller is stupid, and I hate it. It's the worst controller. The Nintendo Switch has the worst controller.
If you use one, like half of the control, like, you know how you can use them both?
Well, not
Or
with
you can
multiple
use
people.
one of them. You can if you have like 8 controllers.
That's what I mean. It's like you have to have a half a dozen controllers in order
But what
to
I'm trying
play.
to say is, if you do like that, it's pretty comfy. It really is.
the handheld part.
Yep.
I haven't played Nintendo Switch at all, so
I brought it.
I don't have a.
I'm just kidding.
It's like, let me play it real quick.
So it does have a lot of small party games, like cheap party games that are easy to buy, easy to get access to.
Wouldn't call them cheap.
Well, like I've played like some $5 ones, or I've seen like a catalog that has like a bunch of $5 ones that are just like really small, simple games, like not like basically mobile games, but for like the Switch.
No, I see what you're saying.
I like how we're slowly transitioning to what the story actually is.
Oh yeah, that one's on me.
It's not that cheap.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. We do have that article to pull up as well. And you know what? Let's just jump to that article. Actually, one of the biggest things that came from the announcement was people reacting to the fact that the new Nintendo exclusives, at least upfront starting price, will be $80 to $90 on the base game, which you've had a lot of like Premier, Deluxe, Elite versions of games that had a bunch of inclusions that could get up to like 120, sometimes 150. I think didn't one of the Fallout games get to like 150 with a bunch of like pre-order shit? Something ridiculous, some ridiculously high number. But if the base games almost always hovered at $60, $70, somewhere in those ranges. So the fact that we're going up by $20 means that this is going to be across the industry. If Nintendo gets away with it, everyone else will.
Well,
too.
one thing that's retarded, and I don't know a bunch about Nintendo and like their past and whatnot, is that the physical copy is $90. You know what a physical copy entails? It's like you
a
get
disc.
a key. No,
Oh.
you don't even get a disc. You get a key in order to download a digital copy.
Got people in the
You're
chat be like,
paying-
"What's a disc?"
You're paying another $20 for a fucking box with nothing.
China does it best.
If they figured it out,
It's-
man,
It's Japan, but whatever.
they cracked the code.
Racist.
Same thing.
It's all Asia. I mean, to be fair, if you,
It's all Asia.
we're all North American, so I mean, like even Canada. Ugh.
They're getting us back for Hiroshima, just slowly but surely.
Yeah, they're giving us great games, but $20 extra a pop. They're giving, like, oh no, the market value is so good, I'll pay it.
But the thing about Nintendo Nintendo's the first one to announce that their games are going to be they're bumping up the price and whatnot, because like everything in like PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever, it's generic for it's commonplace for a AAA game to come out as $70.
Yep.
And they're bumping up their price digital sale to be like 80, 70 to 80. And then the physical are like 90. It's like, all right, so they're saying the precedent, and everyone's waiting, holding their breath for some fucking reason for GTA 6.
I don't know what they're going to be like. It's going to be basically GTA 5.
6 could announce their base price as like $150, and everyone will still buy it.
Hey, if you wait 10 years between games and you build the hype up hard enough, people will spend money on bad games. I will say I think GTA is a bad franchise as from a gaming perspective.
I will agree with you where it's way overrated,
Yeah.
and we'll get trashed for it. But
Back in the PS2 days, that's when it was
San
the
Andreas.
best to me. Yeah. I mean, when you get GTA 5, and it's cool that they can add more and more and more and more to it, and you don't have to buy a new game. Like, that's user friendly.
they
But
only added to online stuff, though.
exactly. So I mean, why even making a new game? Add more like you've been doing.
Well, the frustrating thing about it is that you don't get better at GTA, right? Like you maybe learn a thing you can do. Like you learn you can jump your motorcycle across the planet, but that's about like that's not a skill thing that you just learned you could do that. Like, and then anybody can do that. It's not a skill. It's not a skill you develop. Once you learn that you are able to do that, you can just do it, and everyone can. But GTA doesn't have anything that, in my mind, makes it a skill-based game. Every mission seems to be completely irrelevant to the grand world at large. It doesn't make your there's no leveling up where your character gets better. You get money, but then you just buy in world cosmetics, new vehicles, unlock equipment, and then it depends on the servers you're in. Sometimes there's roleplay servers that I've seen online that have been kind of popular. But then if you're just in there to roleplay as a snowplow driver, like what was the...
Yeah, it's like a third-person game of life.
That.
You know what hard mode is in GTA? Is abiding by the traffic laws.
That is
Nearly impossible.
get 5 stars, then escape while abiding by traffic laws.
I didn't buy the gas pedal and steering wheel so that I could abide by traffic laws.
Well, but there's even better.
Slowly tapping on your gas is like, oh shit! All right.
Is this a?
Fuck.
There's 2 stars. Yeah.
Is it because it's not the best at anything, but it has a hodgepodge of everything? Is that why? Like, it's not the best shooter game, but it has shooting. It's not the best racing game, but it has racing. It's not the best RPG, but it has people.
Like online, it has the goofiest racing, which is retardedly fun. But it's all like online shit. I don't understand the hype around GTA. The last one came out 12 years ago now. It's been 12 years. They have dumped. Rockstar's dumped like all their resources into the online portion of GTA 5, 12-year-old game. I'm gonna keep on saying that. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2019. They also had an online thing. They abandoned it because it's not as profitable as GTA Online.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it's like that. Their business model of like GTA and their online is curbing them from creativity and adding or doing anything else but GTA.
I want to throw this out to like the viewers. Like if you're watching this and you're a GTA fan, let us know what we're missing. And don't tell us we're just wrong. Just say what we're missing. Just say the words like, this is why GTA is great.
I can sleep with a hooker and then kill her and get my money back.
Yeah, I could do that IRL. Like it's not like I don't have to
walk down the street right now and do that.
I don't have to pay $150 for your game. I could go make $150. It's killing a hooker. No, but just tell us in the comments if we're missing something about GTA. What is the hype? What do you like about it? What are we not getting here? Because as far as I think we're doing a pretty good job of breaking down the issues with the game. As far as like nothing stands out.
Have you beaten a GTA game?
How do you beat a GTA game? Like you play through all the missions. Like
story wise.
No, I don't think most people play the story. Most people who love GTA don't give a shit about the story anyway. They'll do the missions, but I don't get the sense that it's something they care about. Well, I don't get the sense that it's something GTA players care about, the story. Like, I think that was something that people like me were probably asking, like, hey, if GTA put in a story, maybe I'd get into it. So they did. That was probably what they were going for. I don't think they've ever really I don't think the GTA story has ever really mattered, because once players finish the GTA story, they are still playing the game forever and never replaying the story.
It's kind of like I can't wrap my head around Minecraft.
Yeah, fuck that game. Fuck everybody that plays it. Like, you can't enjoy breaking bricks and trees and.
Yeah, I don't get it. Tox, you've played it for a while. I can't wrap my.
Tox.
It's the best selling game of all time.
I can give you an argument for it.
I don't know why.
I can give you an argument for it.
Retarded.
I can give you.
I concur.
I can give you an argument for it. I mean, what you do with the argument is up to you. But what I can tell you is that Minecraft is one of the best games for community building, like on a small scale. Like if you want to build a community, Minecraft is easy to do that with their server structure. They also have a lot of creativity behind the game. So when you break the blocks, you also have the resources to build things you want. There's no game that you guys can point to that has the level of freedom in the game that Minecraft has.
Fortnite.
Literally the opposite of what you like of that. It's like Fortnite doesn't have any freedom in the game.
Creative mode.
I'll put a caveat on there. When it comes to base building in games, I abhor it. I don't give a fuck about base building. Like No Man's Sky, it's a lot about base building. They introduced that in Fallout 4.
Yep.
And that was
That was a
the most
flop, wasn't it?
ignored. No, Fallout 4 sold gangbusters.
I thought the mechanic was like broken or something. Like that
No.
mechanic specifically was broken, not the game itself, but like.
It was probably fixed, or maybe on launch it was busted because it's Bethesda, and it wouldn't surprise me.
But base building.
But yeah, like the base building in general, when it comes to games, I don't give a very fuck about.
Sure, but I mean,
So like,
so do you acknowledge that you're in the minority on that regard?
nah, I think I'm in the majority.
Oh,
Well-
Sony argument.
Yeah, it's like I like games where I'm alone. Like it's like I will say. Here's what I'll say.
Like, I'm the one person on earth that doesn't mind playing by themselves.
Well, here's what I'll say. I will say that for me, Minecraft, I can't play it alone. I don't enjoy playing the game when I'm just playing by myself because the breaking blocks, like criticism, totally real. Like if I'm just sitting there, I'm just holding a clicker down while breaking blocks. I'm bored. I'm not having a good time. It's grinding, but with no like real mission.
It's the social aspect.
It's the social aspect of it because Minecraft is pretty cheap to play. It has a lot of things, and again, most creative freedom. The world is something like 30 million, like 60 million block diameter, like across. Like the world is tremendous. You can't die in one spot of the map and ever make it to the other spot unless it's your only thing you're trying to do. So I mean, like the world is bigger than any game you guys can point to. Like they've done in-game replicas of the world, like in Minecraft. They've rebuilt Earth to scale in Minecraft.
That sounds so boring. Could you imagine building the Earth?
Yeah. I am God.
Well, I'm assuming they made it
Could
hot.
you imagine building
In Minecraft, I'm God.
you're having a conversation in heaven. It's like, could you imagine? It's like they got this dumbass game out. They built Earth. Could you imagine that? And God's like, yeah, man.
Well, Minecraft also has
kind of did the same thing.
I mean,
Minecraft-
I did all this in 7 days. I don't know what the fuck you guys have been doing.
Minecraft also has like tremendous lore too. Like the universe itself
It
has
doesn't have tremendous lore.
yeah, it does. It does have this. I'll break it down for you. I'll show you. There's
Please define lore.
yeah, so the game as a
world
entity. So I'm not talking about like in-world story. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the world's existence. So like Star Wars has a fandom that has created an expansive universe outside of the original 6 movies.
All right, this is gonna go a place.
Just
Go on,
just hear me
go
out.
on.
So Minecraft has an in-game like mini story where it's more of just an objective and then you're in a world. So you're right, there's not like a linear tale inside of the story. But the lore of Minecraft as a game is that you have these large community servers where individual players and communities have built these servers that are iconic and actually have these grand achievements inside of them where they've built tremendously large scale like items that for Minecraft players are basically historical artifacts. These are basically places to visit in the Minecraft universe where you go now and you can see these iconic things that have happened. These servers have history to them where player interactions have created lore and created their own interactions. And they've developed these monuments to explore and to visit and histories around them that relate to player interactions. All of that is a part of what makes Minecraft awesome is that there's so much to know and explore just because of how the servers interact with each other. So, and then there's also a community where there's competitions that circle real money with ridiculous sums of money, like $100,000 prize pool. You have YouTubers who have carried the culture and helped build the culture and help people expand, meet more, create more community servers. Minecraft has done a ton. Now, in the same vein as that argument, I have to acknowledge that like Fortnite has done that with like their community. Like Fortnite has a similar community where it's got competitions. It's got like certain creators that have like promenaded the like how things interact with each other as far on the outside world with player interactions. But I will say that Minecraft uniquely is probably one of the best selling games because it has so much to do and so much to explore. It basically is limitless. That doesn't mean it's fun at every minute you have the game installed, but it is a nearly limitless creative endeavor. You want to be louder? Jesus, just open the can. Just open the can. Holy
I
crap.
didn't think that would carry.
We got Colton joining the stream. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Colton.
What do you like about Minecraft?
Tell us about Minecraft.
Queer.
What's up, Minecraft? Also, Minecraft is so popular that it got a South Park episode. Just saying.
It got episodes in a lot of things. This is in Rick and Morty too.
Well, South Park, you're not going to convince me that like Rick and Morty is equal to South Park on.
That wasn't the argument.
Right.
At all.
My point was South Park has touched on a few games, not many. It's World of Warcraft, it's Guitar Hero, it's Minecraft. Maybe I'm missing
The
one.
World of Warcraft one is the most popular episode of all time.
And they're wrong for it being so. Like Trey and Matt also knew that this was not a good episode, and yet the public at large loved the episode.
That was one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen.
They're like, this is not gonna work, and it ended up fucking working.
Watching Cartman's mom hold that toilet seat behind him as he's like running
Oh, yeah,
14 hours.
That's the one. That's the scene you go
Those
to.
kids look disgusting.
Bathroom.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
so funny.
So yes, so this is why Minecraft is so popular. It's because there's so much to do in it. It's got more creative
It's a
freedom than any other game.
sandbox.
It's a that's it.
You
It's
like the sandbox game because like you also play Bannerlord 2.
it's not about me. This is why the community loves the game. I don't like Bannerlord. I can play on my own as a sandbox. I can't do Minecraft. There's a social element to it that I don't get from Bannerlord. So I mean, like it's not about what I like. This is why the community is making this game so.
I like this is why
It's bigger than me, Cody. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's
It
bigger than you.
is.
If Fortnite was for sale, it would have crushed Minecraft.
Well, I also don't get Fortnite either. I'm like an old man here, I guess. It's just like I'm going against GameCube. I'm going against I'm going against.
You're a
Fortnite.
closed-minded, straight white male bigot, and you don't understand the modern generation.
The only
Why do you
reason
retards like Fortnite?
the only reason I'm comparing it to Fortnite is because there's like a whole different world called creator mode where I mean I could literally go and create certain gameplays, huge maps, and I mean streamers can do it. And then you can go onto a streamer's world and do that.
Yep.
And like you don't have to fight. You can just literally play like the Squid's game. Is that what it's called?
Squid Game? Yep.
That's on there.
Squid's game.
I didn't watch the
Squidsy
show.
Gidsy Game. Squidsy Gidsy Game.
But that's why I'm relating it to it.
Yeah, and
There's so much you can do in that.
Well, here's where I think the walls of Fortnite hit. Or where if you explore this far enough, here's where I think you'll hit the walls. A lot of multiplayer games have world building. As far as like building new maps and stuff like that. On Steam, it's the workshop. A bunch of games have the ability to develop your own map and actually port them into the game. So Fortnite does. I'm not dismissing that Fortnite does it. I'm just saying that it's not unique to Fortnite, and that also when you compare it to Minecraft, you have a 60 million by 60 million block world, and in Fortnite you have larger map. You have Fortnite Island. So I mean, and I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it has a name.
I don't know either.
No, I like the name Fortnite Island.
Fortnite Island. But that's
Sounds right.
that's the boundary. You can explore Fortnite Island in its entirety in 30 minutes. You will never hit the edge of the world border in Minecraft.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it's possible, but I mean, colloquially, you'll never get there. I mean, you would have to be like endeavoring to do it.
User, yeah, you're not going to.
You would have to endeavor
It's
really
like, what
hard.
are you exploring? It's like, oh, there's this cave that leads to some diamonds that do whatever. What do you use diamonds for?
Armor, and then it is a type of building block, so it's something you can use to build stuff if you want to. But armor and weapons are the primary reason for it. And then it's kind of a hard brag if you like build a castle out of diamonds.
Well, yeah, true.
That's it.
But I also equate this to like
It's the novelty of its
like
rarity.
survival games to where you like start off on a beach and you're naked and you have to like punch trees to get wood and stuff. It's like I understand like the progress you get from like those games and whatnot. It doesn't equate over to Minecraft for me though.
Well,
Where it's like, all right, you start off naked, you punch trees, you can build a little hovel, and then you slowly acquire resources.
Yeah,
like we did this shit in Raft that we were playing.
Yep. And so it depends
It's
on
fucking stupid is what it is. I mean, the motion that the character does is from Donkey Kong versus Mario from like 1982.
so yeah. You're right. I mean, but I mean, I would say that
But,
Minecraft.
like there is no end game or anything. You're not building to anything in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like someone said it.
If you're playing
that was
Minecraft to beat it, there's a goal, and then you could be done
yeah,
if you
it's like
want to.
killing the Ender Dragon or whatever.
But playing past that is a choice, and players just sometimes choose to, and sometimes choose to start over. So I mean, it's just an option.
Not enough struggle for me.
It's just, yeah, it's a game without a goal. I don't.
And I mean, that's a problem for a lot of players, and that's a problem for a lot of players. But most people, if they've bought or played Minecraft and they've stuck to it, are playing it for the creative aspect. I don't think most people are spending like 100 hours trying to figure out how to beat the Ender Dragon. They're usually going to be able to do that pretty quickly.
I'm not creative, I guess, anymore.
No, yeah,
I've passed.
we know.
I've passed the creative years.
If my friends told me to hop online and say, "Hey, hop online, we're playing Minecraft," I wouldn't talk to them for at least 3 weeks.
just like no,
They'd have
Like,
to learn.
Every time the call's like, no, you
you
still,
have to learn.
you still got 2 weeks left before I talk to you again.
Yeah. If they're lucky, they get that message back.
That's how Trump's negotiation politics work with like tariffs and stuff. He's like, I'm gonna tariff you. Don't talk to me for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Shit works.
We'll see how it goes. We're not segueing. We have a lot more to talk about with the. We're not even close to like we have like 4 stories on
We've been
Nintendo.
Going off on tangents.
We're an hour in.
We're having fun.
I didn't know we were an hour in. I want to talk about Mario Worlds though, real quick.
Would you spend $100 for this game?
First off, let me just throw this out there as a caveat.
If I have friends.
I have to expose my bias on this. I have to declare my bias on this. I hate Mario Kart. I have an individual
Dare you?
I have an individual boycott. I won't play it ever again. I
Why?
will never pick up another
You don't
Mario
like
Kart.
karts? You don't like racing?
I hate Mario
you don't
Kart.
like friends?
He's not good.
You don't like bananas?
I love bananas. Bananas are delicious. They're just called
You don't like shrooms?
They're called plantains.
I hear in the new game you eat the banana, then throw the peel.
Ah,
No, you rub it on your face first because that's the beginning of your morning routine.
so declaring my bias, I hate Mario Kart games. I likely would not play this even if I was. I mean, there's a lot of things about this that were appealing at first. So I watched the trailer for this game. Mario Kart Worlds actually has an open world exploration. You can leave the course and just keep going.
I hate that already.
Well, it's got.
You should love it. It's like Minecraft.
I haven't seen anything about it.
You should know
I
it's
can build things with my go-kart.
There's no way to end. You can't touch the other end.
Hold on. Mute quick. I just want to. So yeah, the maps themselves look awesome.
Was that a snowmobile?
I think so. We can't play it because Nintendo's probably just
Rainbow
going to.
World was cool before the alphabet people.
Yeah, so they have a lot. So the amount of characters they have in it is expansive. They have, I think, the most amount of characters they're going to have out of any Mario Kart. The maps look really good. Like the maps look fun. The world is exploration. You can leave a map and go off and find new trails and actually chart new maps yourself in this world. Apparently it's a tremendously large map scale. So you can do all sorts of different trick rides.
You can grind as a cow on a scooter.
That's what I'm saying.
It's incredible.
It is because you routinely.
Innovative.
We have another chat. It's because
Yes,
you
I would
routinely place 6th to 10th place. Yeah, I'm not. That's a roast. I got roasted. You guys suck. Anyway,
How'd you know?
how did you know? That's crazy.
Playing on 50cc.
But yeah, this is I think this is the best frame we're probably gonna get. But the one thing I thought was really cool about this is when they look at Mario World, it actually reminds me a lot of like Mario, like Super Mario or like Donkey Kong Country, where you have a map to explore and go unlock new bases and stuff like that.
Cool.
I really like that. I think that's kind of cool. And then you could just leave the terrain and just go somewhere else and find a new map for yourself or chart a new map for yourself. Those are some really cool.
It's like The Crew meets Mario Kart. Because The Crew was basically like the U.S.
There it is.
The U.S. is like the map, and you can just drive across it for fucking ever.
For you guys watching in the stream, this is the map. I might be able to. Yeah, this is probably the best frame we're gonna get of the map. But you can there's different areas of it you can explore.
Looks like a game of Risk.
That fair? Yeah, I mean, kinda.
God, it looks fun though. It actually makes me excited. It makes me want to spend extra $20.
You want?
Yeah.
You want to spend nearly $600 to play this game?
Oh, I just bought my Switch like a year ago. I'm not doing it.
Well, hold
No
on.
one's
yet.
$450.
Yes, but that will include the game. Oh, no, standalone. You're right. $450, $499 with the bundle. For the game with the control, or for the game with the Switch 2 system. So yeah, this is going to be expensive. But here's the thing about the console wars. We need to talk back about this.
Is it 4K?
It's
not.
No, I think
No,
it
it's
is.
still stuck in 10.
No, shut up. I think it is still. I think it is still 4K. I think it is 4K, and well, I'm pretty sure it is 4K, and they're doing HDR, and they're doing 120 frames per second, which. Because Asmongold did a breakdown on this. I was watching some of his takeaways from it, and he was complaining a lot about the frames on older Nintendo games, how it was a really big problem for him. And this console supports up to 120 frames. If it's doing high dynamic range, that means it's 4K. So it is 4K. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Say it loud. Say it proud. Tox is right.
This is just like the first result on Google because, you know, it's easy to fact check you assholes.
Well, until you're wrong and caught on camera in 4K.
No, I'm going to read this as it is. The rumored Nintendo Switch 2.
How old is this article?
Unlikely. I'm just saying the first comment.
Fair enough.
To have a built-in 4K display. While it may be able to deliver 4K resolution at 30 FPS with NVIDIA DLSS and 60 frames per second, it's unlikely due to the cost of the console and the GPU to upscale content. It's not going to come out 4K.
Are you saying that the handheld version is going to be a 4K screen? Because that was not what I said.
I'm just talking about the Nintendo Switch in general. Nintendo's not. It for one, no one really gives a fuck about the graphics. Honestly, when it comes to Nintendo, it's all about the games and whatnot and how they play. No one really cares.
It's cheaper now to make a 4K display than it is to make a high def display. Because every factory in every industry has switched over to the 4K standard. So they're not, like, if you went somewhere and you wanted to custom order and get a 1080p display, they would have to one-off that shit for you now. It's so outdated tech versus 4K. There are no 1080p TVs in your local Best Buy or Walmart.
According to IGN, a very reputable source, he said sarcastically.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2 supports up to 120 frames per second, which is excellent.
Yep.
And up to 4K resolution.
Thank you. Oh, that feels good. I feel good. I feel vindicated. I feel seen. But
You're not gonna buy it.
That's my truth. It's my truth. No, I mean I probably won't.
You're like fighting a war for a console you don't even give a fuck.
I'm fighting a war about being right. I'm fighting a war over you being wrong. I get this opportunity so little. Just take your L. Just take your L and let me have this one.
I just want to be right.
I have so little in life.
You're like, oh, it feels so good to be right.
Yeah, it does. But no, so at $500, we got to talk about the console war. So
is 7.9 inches big?
Well, I tend to think so.
Ladies.
Ladies.
Don't.
That's what the screen is, like the handheld one.
I thought it was going to be bigger.
No, that's what the one is.
Well, I mean, would it fit inside the container or the charging dock? You have to ask, is it in yet?
Will the 7.9 inches fit between the Joy-Cons?
Boo. That one,
I can test that later.
we can find out. So the console wars, Xbox is basically stepping away from the console wars. So Tyson, I'm assuming you haven't heard this news.
Console's dead, yeah.
So Xbox's new console is going to have a version of Windows on it instead of Microsoft or like the Xbox like operating system, and it's still going to be it's going to be a console shape. It's still going to be like a console design,
But it's a computer.
It's a computer. It's a computer, and that's basically what it's going to be. It might have a slightly different looking operating system than like a normal desktop would, but Microsoft has no reason to stay invested in the console wars. They just win as soon as they port over Steam and they port over all these other platforms from the PC industry, which they're going to be able to do with their new console. You're going to be able to play Steam games on your new quote-unquote Xbox. So PlayStation, I think, announced their new console is just going to have more improvements to the hardware, and it's probably going to be much more expensive. They had the PS5 Pro, which was an $800
they're
console.
doing the same dumb shit to where it's like Nintendo is the only one with like actual exclusives these days because like PlayStation will throw out a game and then like a year later it comes out on PC or wherever and can buy it. Same thing's going on with Xbox. Everything's going to like game. Xbox wants to do what like Netflix does for like gaming, where it's like everything goes on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And that's how they want to move forward. And same comes to like PlayStation, towards like, all right, we've had the PlayStation 5 for what, how many years now? And they've come out with almost no exclusives. So it's like there's no real reason to own up. There's no
console.
real reason to like, oh, I want a PlayStation because it has these games on it, or I want
PlayStation
Xbox
takes
because
the
it has
L
these games.
again.
Well, and PlayStation is basically like
Now, they've been winning over Xbox, but
that's true. Yeah, they've been beating Xbox out, but
since 360.
both have been losing. Both go downhill,
they're
but
both-
PlayStation
they're
goes downhill
both losing.
slower.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. They both.
It's like they're winning against each other, but they're both getting drowned.
They're winning a losing battle.
Well, if you listen to any of the community, we could have told you that Game Pass was stupid from a business perspective. There's no there's no monetary like reward for going to Game Pass. The only thing is you can include all of these trash games that no one wants and get people to pay $15 for playing one game for a year versus paying $60 for one game for a year. So you got people far more invested. And I don't know about Game Pass. Does Game Pass include your Xbox Live membership?
Yes,
It does.
I have it, and that's part of the reason I did it. It's gonna cost me like $75 or something to get live.
Yeah.
And they have the new Black Ops game on there.
Yeah.
And they also lost this game on March 31st. That one hurt. MLB, the show 24.
Oh no!
I'm really thinking about canceling live because of that.
You can't
Yeah,
canceling Game
You can't
Pass.
press X to swing a bat.
Or throw a ball.
Who did it better? The Wii Sports, or that game, the show?
The show.
But I mean Wii Sports, right?
No.
What do you mean not Wii Sports? I mean Wii Sports.
If you
though.
have
I mean,
these mythical friends, then yeah.
they're called Mii's. They're called Mii's. Mii's would like to play
Name me one person that's still playing Wii,
Wii
Sports.
I mean, I don't know.
You could
I won't do it.
You could have a party at your place and just be like, "Hey, you guys want to play some Wii Sports?" And everyone's fucked up. Like, yeah, could be a good time.
First, they're gonna say, "Where's your Xbox?"
Who has a Wii?
Oh, I got the Wii. All right.
What's a Wii?
So
What, you got to pee or something?
Yes.
I got a Wii.
Mario Kart Worlds looks like it could be fun for players who like Mario Kart.
I'm definitely
It's
getting
got a lot for it. The fact that this is expensive, Nintendo will be the only survivor of the console wars.
Mhm.
Yeah. They'll just be the only ones left standing because Xbox is already retreating, going into desktops and back into PC gaming. Sony is probably. I think what Sony needs to do is they need to partner with Google and build a new desktop, a new laptop desktop platform versus like Windows. So you have Apple, you have Windows, you have Linux, but that's it. Sony needs to partner with Google and be like, I guess Google has the Chromebook. So Sony should be offering to make Google's new desktops and laptops, and they should stop going Chromebook, and they should do something different. And then they could stay relevant in PC gaming. Then they could get into PC gaming, I guess is more of what I mean. That's what I think should happen. But nobody listens to Talks, even though he's right about everything.
Oh, you think those Japs or Koreans are going to listen to you?
Yeah, they will, because I'm smart. Your boy's wicked smart.
I'm gonna buy the refurbished version of this. Depending on what, I'm gonna let my buddies buy it first, and I'll see how the online mode is.
Yeah.
And then I'll go wait till one gets returned, and then I'll go buy a cheaper one.
Well, Nintendo had other announcements during the event. So Nintendo rolls out enhanced parental controls to make game chat and screen time safer for kids. You know, this only really applies to parents, and the left, but for babies. But so the screen time boundaries are going to be limitations on it. Game chat looked really good.
That's cool to me. I like that. I'm guessing that's why everything's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, so the game chat function is going to be, let me see if I can pull it up. So you're actually going to be able to pull up windows and get with people who have their own Nintendo Switch online to play together, and you're going to be able to chat with them in real time. It's going to look, to me, it looked like Discord. That's all I saw when I saw this. I was like, this is Discord, but they made a different skin for it.
That is how most people communicate when they're playing this Switch live with their friends. They just play live and then they hop on Discord.
Which I don't think this is something we started talking about before the stream. I don't think they needed to take the time to invent their own. They should have bought a company who already had it figured out, who already was done with it and was doing their own thing. They were just too small to succeed. there's an example I could point to. There's a competitor to Discord called Gilded. It wasn't. I don't think it's
Who?
very. I don't think exactly. That's my point. My point is that they were competing against Discord, but there was nothing they were doing that was super unique to Discord that I found. So it would probably be easy enough to buy them up as Nintendo and then just put it inside of your stuff, and then you're done. You don't need to build your own.
That could be what they did.
I mean, not Gilded specifically, but you're probably right. They could have done that, but I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
they bought out a company and said, "Hey, it's included in the buyout. Put this in our system."
yeah. It could have been that. I'm pretty sure Nintendo likes to build their own stuff,
I believe that.
but I could also be wrong on this.
Yeah, they do their own thing.
So practical safety over panic. What makes
What do you
it?
mean practical?
I'm reading. What do I mean? I'm reading.
No, yeah, I know.
What do I? Oh,
No, I wasn't asking you.
it's like, what is your problem,
I'm
Tox?
asking the article.
What do you mean practical safety? Like, what makes Nintendo's approach stand out is its tone. Unlike other platforms that swing toward fear-based marketing, this rollout emphasizes partnership and practicality. The company doesn't assume that kids are automatically doing something wrong, nor does it assume that parents are tech-savvy experts. Instead, it invites families to establish rules of the road and then gives them the tools to enforce and adjust those rules as needed. So you're going to see limitations on, like, in-game chat for young people. Perfectly makes
but
sense.
when it comes to parents not being tech savvy, it's like, this isn't the 2000s anymore. The parents are the millennials that grew up with the internet and
Yeah.
spent a good amount of time in Modern Warfare 2 lobbies.
Yeah.
It's like, we
Right.
know exactly what the fucking internet is.
Well, Nintendo probably has in my mind, I would assume Nintendo has a vested interest in making sure that if they're going to do multiplayer game chat, that it does not become Modern Warfare 2 lobbies.
I would buy the fuck out of this console in the game.
Just to make it a Modern Warfare 2 lobby.
Yes.
We could do it. We could break the next generation into the mold.
You're just screaming at 12-year-olds.
I'd give anything for those days back. I really would.
I play online competitive multiplayer, or
You
like,
get hit by a shell and you just start slurring.
Yeah.
well, Cody does, like, we all play online multiplayers that are like competitive and have a voice chat, right? And you have people who get triggered by you just having conversations in the chat at all.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, the mute button is not obvious enough to these morons. Like, it needs to be like the only button on your controller if you're going to be that fucking triggered. Like, it should be easy to say like all the dirty shit on the chats, but instead they always just whinge and whine about, like, you sing, like, maybe you want to just jam out and sing a song in the chat, but then they just like, are you gonna keep singing while I'm trying to clutch this 1v5? I'm like, hell yeah, I am. Elton John all the way.
I know I suck, but you don't have to throw out all the Game Awards.
Rocket Man. Just Rocket Man in the chat. Yeah, so
That's gonna be my go-to now.
Rocket Man.
Especially when I get the rocket in Mario Kart.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
So I mean, do you guys think this is do you think Nintendo was right to put like these parental controls inside the game, or do you think this is like more hypersensitivity?
I think it's more hypersensitivity because, like, I mean, yeah, it's hard now for parents to monitor what their kids are doing online.
Yep.
All times, but you don't need corporations and whatnot implementing these things in order to, like, be like, oh, we'll be the parent for you.
Yeah.
Just, like, no, just be a fucking parent.
I agree, but
If someone calls you a dumbass over fucking Mario Kart, it's like, maybe you fucking deserved it.
Or gamer or
being a dumbass.
or gamer words. Yeah, I mean, since you're not allowed to bully people in school, you need to be allowed to bully people somewhere. Online is the safest place because they can't find you.
Pressure makes diamonds. I am perfectly fine with bullies.
I am too.
I am too.
I think the mute button is perfectly sufficient.
Yeah.
Maybe we even get rid of that.
It's like, maybe because we grew up in these environments and whatnot in, like, early online gaming, to where it's like we got to the point where we developed
the Wild Wild West.
thick enough skin to where it's just like, whatever you say, you can't offend me. Whatever you say is just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, don't give them that power. Like, when I was young, this one kid tried to throw a pencil at me at lunch for a couple days.
I
Eventually,
said
I just-
sorry.
A couple,
I said I'm sorry.
a
I just-
couple days.
Yeah, that's all it took. Like, I just like got hit with a pencil. I looked back at him, and he like said something to me. I'm like, just gave him a look like, dude, you're weird. And then I went back and it never happened again. Like he just ultimately knew he didn't have that power over me. So
Yeah.
you're getting bullied. Just do that.
Yeah, I think it's when it comes to online stuff and even in the real world, we're too sensitive of like, oh, kids are mean or they're whatever. It's like, no, it builds you up for the fucking real world or whatever.
Yeah,
where
people
like-
are mean.
Yeah.
well,
The world is mean.
kids are the meanest. They're
Yeah.
the honest, the most honest.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that when a kid did you guys see this video online of the kid who was like there's this guy who's just trying to walk down the street and walk into a store, and this little chubby fat kid is like blocking him and like yelling at him and like pushing him and just like swinging at him and just like hitting him. And the adult just like grabs him by the collar and just like throws him to the ground, and the little piggy starts squealing, and it's hilarious. And the entire internet is like, good. Where were the fucking parents?
Right.
Like, control your fucking pig.
Yeah.
Well, I
Control your pig.
control your pig. He was a little porker. Little chubby little fat
And
boy.
then if you look up the video, it's actually a pig dressed in a sweater.
Dressed in a little boy. I was a pig dressed in a boy costume. It's like, what? But
yeah, no, I'm this whole like movement against bullying and whatnot. It's like it's what's a good word? It's gay.
it's
Gay.
gay hair. They put chicken in it, made it gay as hair.
It's like, all right, yeah, like people get like I would bully someone for something they did, and then someone would bully me for something I did, and it's like it's almost like reciprocal. It's like checking people in society. It's like
Mm-hmm.
You know what not bullying has
like,
led us to?
you shouldn't be your
Today.
you shouldn't be your true self, because your true self ends up being a furry that has to take a shit in a litter box in the corner of the goddamn classroom.
Or gets or uses the
You're gonna
tampon
get bullied.
or uses the tampons in the men's bathroom.
Yeah,
Like
I had a nosebleed in my asshole.
So I am pro bullying. I'm pro bring it back, because here's what not bullying people has led to. If you look outside, you see young people and they are just running wild and rampant. Those people need to be checked hard. They need to be like, call for violence. I'm just kidding. Not do it. But I'm not calling for violence. That's what I meant to say. There was a lag in the stream.
Whatever happened to name calling though?
Oh,
It's
dude.
like, why did that become such a big? It's like, oh well, it hurts their feelings. Like, it's a name.
Well, the people who say it hurts their feelings do the most name calling, and they say the worst shit. They're like, "You're Hitler. You're a Nazi. You're an evil bastard, fascist pig. You're trying to kill everybody with genocide." It's like, I just said like falafel. That's appropriation. You can't do that. You bigot
Awful.
piece of shit.
Jesus, that's
Yeah.
the worst of them.
I know. The 7 things you can't say on radio and
No,
television.
it'd be like a dad talking to his wife at the end of the day, and it's like, pussy ass son. It's just like, I had to protect him from this boy that called him a butthead. And it's like, this fucking.
Pussy. Piece of shit, little bitch. I mean, honestly, the only thing that corrects this behavior now is like the younger generation has to be allowed to like correct each other. Because if adults do it, it's a very different story. I don't want adults beating up on kids. I mean,
It'd be fun.
depends, but I mean, you
Just drive by an elementary school.
well, like what you see now is
All
like
you retards out there.
well, what you see now on like
Puffy-ass
shorts and on
jacket.
going viral is like these pretty actually violent outbursts.
Yeah.
Like actual violence and shit. People trying to kill each other.
Whatever happened to those like words will never hurt me? What was that dumbass saying? It's
Sticks
like,
and stones.
Stones.
Break my bones, but
Yeah.
I am
It's
rubber,
just
you are
words.
glue. Bounces off me and sticks to you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying what you asked for. I'm just giving you the word back. But there was a lot of bullying. We need to bring it back because it is not a evil. It's not an evil upon the world. It's a social It's social interaction.
There is a line when it comes to bullying.
There's a-
like basically people going after someone until they delete themselves.
Self deletion. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a line. It's like playful like name calling and whatnot. It's like even though, like when going back to South Park, it's like the Ginger episode. Ginger was never a word I ever heard until South Park came out with the episode. And then all of a sudden I was the ginger kid.
Changed all of our lives.
It changed.
That was a great day for America.
It was my gamer tag for many a year.
You own the shit out of that.
Yeah, you just fucking own it. It's like, who gives a fuck?
What would probably be better for like bullying rather than trying to prevent it, which you're not going to prevent it. Maybe you'll delay it, but it's going to come out in some violent outburst and someone's going to die that way. Like what happened with the recently where two kids were just fighting over a parking spot and then the kid stabs the other kid to death and then now
who's the ginger now?
Well, apparently the kid who stabbed him is like has a GoFundMe to get $50,000 in legal bills because he's the victim now because he's murdered someone.
Someone call me
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So I mean, we need bullying, but you know what would be better about it is if you could allow the bullying to happen and then rather than harsh penalizing people, like teach the kids who are being bullied how to stand up for themselves and correct their other aspect of the social behavior.
Also parenting. It's like now we don't have Gen X as the parents. We have millennials as the parents. And millennials were coddled and whatnot. It's like during our youth, they were like trying to outlaw spanking and shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like, so it just becomes more and more like weaker parents just generating weaker and weaker.
But they didn't outlaw lashings.
It's
It was
true.
just whippings. It's like with the belt.
You can't take my belt away. Fucking whip the shit out of my kids.
Yeah,
But
but society has gotten so comfortable that we all forget we're still like built genetically to survive, and a kid is trying to find their place.
Well, you're right. I mean, if you look at interactions between animals, like dogs are a great example of this because they have pack behaviors. When one of the dogs acts out, it's the pack's responsibility to correct that.
Yeah,
It's how it should frickin' be in schools. Social interactions, sometimes you need a public shaming, a public lashing to get corrected. And then if they overcorrect and now you're like in danger of self-deletion or something like that, then okay, step in, see what we can do to fix that as far as not punishing the people who did the correction, but how do we make the kid who's having a hard time understand how to fix themselves, how to get past that? Because you can't blame other people for like someone wanting to self-delete. At some level of it, you have to own that yourself.
Well, also comes to it's like, all right, there's acceptable bullying or whatever, and there's crossing the line. And the crossing the line one is like a kid like egging themselves on. It's like just every day. It's like, hey, you should self-delete and whatnot. And that's the parents' responsibility. It's like, hey, what the fuck are you even doing with your kid?
You got to watch your kid. You have to pay attention.
yeah, I agree. I mean,
we grew up in a school of like what? Our class was what, 61?
Yeah, 16 change.
Yeah. So everyone knew each other, or there were cliques and whatnot, but like people intermingled with stuff and like that. It's like when you grow up in a school of like 400 in your class, it's like you don't have anyone on your side.
yeah.
No. You have two parents, and sometimes you don't have two parents and you're an orphan, so you have a main character syndrome and you're going to go off to save the world. But otherwise,
I orphaned my parents.
if you're you orphaned your parents?
Like, what's it?
You killed your grandparents in order to make your parents orphans?
showed them.
You taught them a lesson for
I
sure.
got ahead of the game.
2 generations deep. All right. Well, the last piece of news with the Nintendo is that the release date has been delayed. Nintendo pushes back the release date, or I'm sorry, not the release date. They push back the pre-order launch date to April 9th, which is only offsetting. By the time this comes out as a video, might already be April
Who
9th.
pre-orders a console?
Everybody, most people's. I mean, you just buy it like the day it opens, the day it comes out. You don't pre-order anything.
No.
I don't either.
Oh, okay. Games.
Games.
Okay, so it's not unreasonable of a position to have with
I
consoles.
am one of those hypocrites to be like, oh, pre-orders are evil and you shouldn't just give them their money before you even know what you got. And then it's like, well, this sequel to a long-standing franchise.
Yeah.
We're like, I want it right away. And they give me an incentive. I can play it at 24 hours ahead of time.
So but the delay of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo is putting that on the tariffs that have been happening. If you've been paying any attention, if your eyes have been open, you know that there are tariffs going on. And so The idea being here is that it's not going to affect the price, but they're going to watch the market and see what it does before they do the pre-orders, just to find out if they need to take any extra steps or any additional actions. Because when it comes to the tariffs and how to deal with them, that's Japan's government's job, not Nintendo's. Although Nintendo would probably be better negotiators.
I like how you just snuck this in, by the way.
It's the article. I didn't sneak it.
No, you snuck in some politics.
Well, I mean, did I? I didn't intend to.
Trump's on the screen, therefore it's politics. We must bash all Tesla.
No. I was thinking about buying a Tesla, but then I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want gas powered vehicles.
I don't want my neighbors to slash my tires.
I want to buy that. Did you hear that there's a car that runs on water? No, I'm just kidding.
Do you want the government to kill you?
There's apparently a vehicle that has like 108 miles to the gallon on diesel power, and it's some they re-engineered the engine for the diesel engine, and now it's far more efficient to 100 miles per gallon. And I don't know too much about that, but if it's real, I want that.
There's gonna be on Talk's Twitter is like, I did not kill myself, and then he dies the next day.
Oh yeah. I'm Epstein in this beach.
I firmly believe Tesla built a car that runs on water.
Yeah,
For sure.
you think so?
Oh yeah.
Like Elon did, and just is keeping it secret so that
No.
electric vehicles start to
Nikola
Nikola Tesla. Okay, yeah, yep.
Oh, the OG.
The one and only.
The
I
one and
think
only.
he built one. I really do.
Oh, yeah. No, he did a lot of stuff. And then, what's his face? Fucking,
Benjamin Franklin.
no.
Damn it. I knew I was wrong.
Somebody killed him and stole his shit.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, no, he was like,
I
he
couldn't even.
was an innovator and whatnot, and don't want to go into the history of fucking
Mm-mm.
Tesla and all that shit. Because
We got Bowser on the screen, and we're talking about like cars that run on water.
Yeah.
I think his cart runs on water.
This cart runs on pure magic.
runs on turtle farts.
It's like
Angry one.
do. So the release date is still on track.
Look at those tires though. They aren't made for miles
Walking.
per gallon. It's like he's such a detriment to the environment. Let's kill Bowser.
I agree, but different reasons.
Make turtle
I just
soup.
don't like his face.
He took peach for me.
We're gonna make some turtle soup. The release date is June 5th, and that is still on track. So it's just the pre-order date that's been moved back. Apparently just to accommodate the tariffs.
I do want to add into this is like they had the whole Nintendo Switch reveal and whatnot, and it's like this is all the shit that we're doing, blah blah blah. And it's like if you want more information, because they left out all price tags and whatnot. It's like if you want more information, go visit the website, and people are just like, all right, let's go see how much it costs. It's like, all right, it's like $500. It's like that's a bit steep, and then they go to the games, and it's like fucking $80 for a digital download.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the games industry.
That's insane. That's more than what we're paying now for like PS5 and Xbox Series, whatever.
Yeah, we're fucked.
A brand new game on the Switch though is $70.
That's retarded.
I could pull it up right now on the console I have, and like they just made a Donkey Kong Country Returns, and it's $69.99.
Donkey Kong Country Returns cost. Do you think that is an applicable price to where it's like you'd pay for that?
I haven't yet.
$70 for a Donkey Kong
Okay,
game.
let me jump in here because this is just an opinion question. So it's like I think it is, and here's my argument: Donkey Kong is an IP that centers around a really fun social experience where it is a couch game. It is meant to be played with people. It usually includes new mechanics. Donkey Kong Country usually adds a new mechanic or two into future games. And as far as platform runner games go, Donkey Kong Country has been iconic for decades. So I think $70. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't know if you're fucking with me or not.
I'm not.
No, he's right. I actually have been trying to beat the games on the old one, like Donkey Kong Country, and then Diddy Kong Country, and then the female country. It's like Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yep.
I've been going through those, and this is back in like 1992 through 1998, and sure enough, just like he said, it adds a new
Mechanic
new mechanic to like strategize to beat levels. It's
Yeah, and even like the
I
newer,
just learned it.
even the newer games, they have either another dimension of fighting to them, or they have new things you could maybe you break more things or different things with Donkey Kong. You interact with the environment a little bit differently. They've incorporated things from the Mario games that have been successful. I mean, it's Donkey Kong and Mario are good. They are good games. So it shouldn't surprise people that they are worth more money because, I mean, what if they're
Okay,
Go ahead.
it's. Well, I guess I'm severely ignorant when it comes to Nintendo exclusives and whatnot. So
Fair enough.
like,
GameCube.
fuck your GameCube,
But-
fuck you too.
No, but Donkey Kong and Mario, there's a reason they're so popular, and it's just because they're good
But
games.
it's like in my mind right now as a PlayStation exclusive kind of guy or PC. It's like I can't imagine paying now $90 for a fucking Donkey Kong game.
Well, the Donkey Kong game is fun for the family. It's a family game to play together, and so
Was the whole family pitching?
it
Come
can,
on, 5-year-old.
But that's what I'm. Well, actually,
Get your cash.
well, actually, I think we were probably 5 or 6 when we were playing.
Well, you
the
can
old
buy
one.
the game and then download your account to like any other Switch you want, and then you just go on that account and then you play the game.
Well, I guess it also depends on like what people perceive as like worth. Is like in my eyes, I don't think that price tag equates to like what I would spend or on a game like that.
Well, there's no.
Whereas like you like say like I have a specific franchise in a different field or whatever that you guys don't even know about. It's like you spend $80 or you spend $120 on the deluxe super edition where you get season passes. It's like, all right. So I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. It's not even that like the game is special in some way. It's Nintendo does. I mean, Star Fox has a cult following. Kirby has a cult following.
Are there
Nintendo.
any new Star Fox games?
Star Fox hit.
I would spend
As-
12 grand for that.
There you go. Well,
there might be on the Switch.
I do not know for sure myself. I know that
Nintendo heard me and was like, oh.
he's a living. He's a character that lives in almost every shared IP. So whenever Nintendo does anything collaborative between IPs, he's almost
It's a
always in there.
Nintendo IP, so yeah.
So, but I mean, Kirby, Star Fox, Mario, Donkey Kong, list keeps going. Metroid. You got. I'm trying to think of more because there's plenty more. There's no shortage.
Well, it comes to like
But-
Super Smash Bros. Or whatever.
Yep.
The 12th installment or whatever they're at right now.
Yep.
It's like you can spend hundreds of hours on the game, and therefore, I would say a justified price would be like $90. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
you have this game, but they're also going to like you have to pay anytime a new character comes in. You're gonna have to pay for it. They're doing this shit with old games. Like, say you have the Nintendo Switch One
Mhm.
with Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. It's another $30 to get it upgraded to your Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
So it's like you pay for this game, you played it, good. Now to play it on our next system, you have to pay another $30.
For fairness on that front, they did this. They went over this in the announcement that while you will have to pay an extra amount to get those games ported from the Switch One, the new console does support the increased graphics, and they have reskinned some of the games to make them better looking. So Breath of the Wilds did get a color improvement, and it did get a frame rate buff as well, and I believe they did modify it for 4K too with higher graphics.
It could be like fake news to where it's like, all right, it costs $30 to upgrade the game to have
It's basically like
better
remastered. It's basically like that.
better frames per second and better resolution. Or you can still play it on Switch 2 with the Switch 1 graphics. Because like PlayStation does that shit too. It's like you buy a game for like that was available on PS4. They give you an option to download the PlayStation 5 version or the PlayStation 4 version.
Mhm.
It's like-
Yeah, I like
so it
that.
could be that. It could just be like gaslighting me into it's like, oh no, in order to play that game.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I want to wait to see what the online world is like.
Well, and if the GameCube list is expansive, because all we have right now is just a few titles.
If there's good GameCube games on there, I'm not even waiting. I'm buying it.
Yeah, same. And then I'll be able to play together with everyone who has a Switch 2 with a Discord built into the console. And I'll have to go buy a separate type of controller because there's no way I hate this controller design. I hate it. I think it's the worst controller design out of any
Nintendo has a
platform.
bad
No. Well, okay. First off, Nintendo has almost always been.
fucking GameCube.
Nintendo has almost always had a creative game design. The GameCube game controller is the best out of. Is it the best out of all of them? Better than the Wii, better than the Wii U, better
Not
than the
all of
Switch,
them.
better than the.
It goes Super Nintendo, then GameCube.
I think that's
Super Nintendo with the gray and pink or whatever. Gray and
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
So
was probably the
simple.
best.
I think it's the
elegant.
most iconic, but the GameCube is more comfortable. Like if you're gonna do an 8-hour session, the GameCube game controller is more comfortable than this Nintendo or
If I
Super
wanna stick
Nintendo
thumb on my
controller.
ass, the N64 is the best.
Well, the Nintendo 64 is the one I was gonna make the point for. That was the most silly.
That was kind of the worst.
You're a big toggle guy, aren't you?
Toggle off. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything for the Nintendo. We got a couple more stories to go to, and we are almost 2 hours in.
yeah, wow.
That's fine.
This has been fun, though.
I'm having a good time. We just gotta let's go continue forward. We got the what we're gonna be talking about in the next segment. We are gonna be talking about the Superman teaser that came out. Cody, you were talking about how this is basically just the first 5 minutes of the film.
The teaser that came out of some con that just went down
Yeah.
is the first 5 minutes of the film.
So Superman CinemaCon footage leaves audiences with one question: can James Gunn deliver the hit DC and Warner Brothers developments need? Okay. What this trailer did, so we are not going to be able to play the full trailer just because Warner Brothers is an absolute bitch when it comes to like copyright. We'll go and try to do a frame by frame breakdown for you guys so we could try to at least talk about it.
Well, it's basically the trailer that we got, you know, where Superman lands in the ice and the dog comes along.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the entire first 5 minutes. He goes back to the palace, gets healed, blah blah blah.
Yeah. And we saw that in the original trailer where he crash lands, and then this is actually kind of hard to navigate. This. So yeah, he crash lands. He's sitting there in the snow, and in the first trailer, the themes were off,
Looking like
or the themes were different. So in the first trailer, you had a really dark theme where it was kind of like he's going to be struggling, but he's also going to be a character that brings like hope to the universe and going to be kind of that symbol. But you had a lot of society turning against him. It looked like he had a bit of self-doubt in the trailer, and in this one it's really a lot more uplifting where you have the dog. He whistles in calls the dog in. The thing flies across the screen and then just starts jumping on the guy and starts like messing with him.
Yeah, this is a self-insert from James Gunn too. He's like, he told a story about his dog and how his dog was like nipping at his heels and jumping all over him, blah blah. So James Gunn's doing a lot of self-inserts here. Like Crypto, it's supposed to look like James Gunn's dog. Do you know who James Gunn is, Tyson?
I do.
Okay.
So just for the audience who doesn't know
the
though.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And he nailed that series.
Guardians?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yep. I would say there wasn't a way to do Guardians of the Galaxy much better. But yeah,
But
so
how do you how would you say he is qualified to run the DC universe?
DC fucking needs it.
we need to
I
have
am
this
Does it
not a
need to be
conversation.
DC fan.
Marvelized or
It needs more hints of Marvel, which in this first 5 minutes I can already see he's doing it.
We're gonna play like
I've
10
been
seconds of
Begging
this.
for
Just
something new in DC.
like, okay, so he calls in Crypto, he just jumps on him, starts bouncing all over him and stuff, and just starts messing with him while he's laying there broken bones on the ground.
it's
And
relatable if you have a
It's-
2-year-old dog or something.
it's
That's-
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. But I think this is actually like this. Okay, so Cody and
That's
Tyson
not
to the
his
audience.
dog, by the way.
What's that?
That's not his dog, by the way.
Crypto?
It's Supergirl's dog. Supergirl is in this movie.
But Crypto is not Superman's dog. It's Supergirl's dog.
I'm pretty sure it's hers, yeah. From the shit that I've heard. And
I'm not going to be the one to fact check that. It doesn't sound right, but I could be.
There's
But
no facts to
I-
check.
I don't-
It's all hearsay.
right, I have no idea. And there's going to be a canon answer to this question. So I mean, there's going to be a canon answer. I just don't know it. But what you do see out of these frames here is that the Crypto is CGI, and there's no way you needed that. Like, just put another dog in a costume and try to like. They have screen dogs. Why does every single thing have to be CGI in this?
You put your dog in a cape and see how it reacts.
I would love that. I would love to see that. First off, my dog is old enough that she's just gonna stay lay down and just like maybe use it as a blanket or chew on
Yeah.
it.
It's like, oh, you're putting a blanket on me. That's nice.
But you two, Tyson and Cody, you kind of have like opposite opinions on this that I've like we've had, like this is conversations I've had with Cody and conversations I've had with you about DC. So the difference between Marvel and DC is that Marvel is a brighter universe. It is more uplifting, or at least a more medium tone, whereas DC is a darker, grittier, like more tragic universe.
Past Marvel has been more joking. Past DC has been more dour.
Yeah, and to
Yeah.
me, it's a personal preference thing. I personally do not preference DC and their boring ass movies.
Well, I think okay. So what is there a DC film you did like?
They make good movies.
Yeah,
but I'll watch them once and I'll go,
not
wow.
again.
No. I saw enough and it was fine. Like the
But-
Superman movies, the
Man of
Superman
Steel
versus Batman. Yeah, like the Henry Cavill stuff it was good, but
Not rewatchable.
there's nothing. I'm a big Lightheart guy, and as what Marvel has shown is that you can have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, for example, very dark with
Yeah.
lighthearted moments, and that to me makes a
is a good
fun, good
example.
movie.
Yeah, that's a good example where you can have like darker, more like grounded tones and not be so jokey all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
And
still,
still throwing
it's fun.
and still be. I won't say it's fun.
In
Have you rewatched it recently?
Well, there's jokes that like
Yeah.
open the fucking door. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's-
know what I mean.
that's the one. That's the big joke. Well, I mean, there's more jokes. I'm not saying there's only one joke.
Like,
I'm saying
first F word in Marvel history.
Yeah.
James-
But like, yeah, no, there is a fine line that you can just like skate on
Yeah,
to where it comes.
well, good storytelling. If you build up too
That's
much
what they-
tension, you need to relieve it somewhere.
Well,
like
they tried to
yes.
do that. They tried to do the Marvel thing with the release of Joss Whedon's Justice League.
yeah,
That was the original Justice League that dropped in 2017.
Oh, I didn't see that. It was DC, so I no.
Oh, okay.
But maybe I'll give it a watch. Now.
They tried to Marvelize it and whatnot, and
Well-
it tanked horribly. And everyone's like, release the Snyder Cut
yep.
because it was more along the lines of shit that came before. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's really what we need or anything, but
Well, the Snyder Cut was much better. Like it was
Obviously.
infinitely better, so much better. The noir version. I watched the noir version. It was fantastic because you had that and Logan that both did the noir thing, which was so cool, and I
You watched
really
the
liked
black and white version of
it.
it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Alright.
The contrast, the details. I mean, this was when like 4K technology was still kind of young. It wasn't brand new. It'd been out for a bit, but they were figuring out how to make it as like really good. And you had a lot of like I had a pretty much maxed out setup for what I could get at the time. And it looked awesome. I thought it looked so good.
4K black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Justice League and
They
Logan
can
were
get along.
It seems counterintuitive.
well 4K is just the resolution. It has nothing to do with color. And then but
Counterintuitive.
Anyway, no, well, like, I would like Marvel to do their just joke, whatever, do their thing, and then DC, I would like it to be more serious tone, but it doesn't have to be so like dour or whatever that you had problems with, or it's like this isn't fun,
Yeah.
it's just sad.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
cry enough at home. I don't need to go to a 2.5 hour cry fest.
right.
I think that you have a lot of like I think that when it gets to be more of a comedy skit in Marvel, I think it feels lifeless. I mean, I might get a chuckle. So like Thor: Love and Thunder is a movie that made a
Horrible
bunch of
movies.
people laugh, but that movie was absolutely awful. It was a bad film.
It's like Ragnarok. Ragnarok was great.
Ragnarok was great, had funny moments, but it had serious moments too.
Yeah.
It just none of them had a payoff.
And it developed the character and whatnot.
Yeah.
Instead of just making a joke of the entire fucking film, like
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Blunder.
They ruined Thor with the character development, and I think Chris did a great job with character development.
Oh, yeah.
Doing
None of that's
what
on
he was
him.
Told.
None of
but,
that's on him. Yep.
Man, did they wreck probably the greatest character and
And the
Well, he's
strongest.
the saddest character in all of Marvel. He lost everything multiple times.
but
Yep.
he's a god.
Yeah,
He
he
lo-
lost everything multiple times.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you
Toughen up, bud.
Like, we're gonna
Have some perspective.
We're gonna redo this story 100 times over.
Every single person is at some point in their life felt like they've lost everything or will.
Cry less.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Eventually it gets better, right?
Fat Thor was fun in the cinema.
He had
and-
Natalie Portman. He can cry less. He can be. He's fine.
Yeah.
And then he started screaming at kids on
Hot.
Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean,
It was fun for a second, and then it was like, oh, you're just gonna be the Big Lebowski.
Well, you know that the character that he was yelling at in what was it, Endgame? Was that Endgame where he was yelling at him? That is an actual character that's made appearances. Like he's canonical in Marvel. That gamer, the gamer tag. He was the Best Buy. No, he was was it Apple Store in the Captain America movie where where Captain America and the Black Widow Scarlett Johansson go to like this tech store and they're on the computer. He's the tech guy who walks. New Master. Yeah. Yep.
that's awesome.
Was he really?
Yeah. It's
Okay, I
You don't
like
see
I
that
like
in DC.
the hold on. Let me be
because none of those movies
let me
mesh.
let me make sure that I'm just like the answer is yes. I'm positive that is the character. If I'm wrong, it's a similar character that I'm getting mixed up. But yes, yes, he is that
You
guy.
could just gaslight us and just believing that's true.
Well, it is
You
true.
don't have to back.
New Master makes multiple appearances in Marvel. You can look that up. I'm pretty certain he's that tech guy from the store, but it could be I could be getting him mixed up with someone else. But yes, New Master does make multiple appearances in Marvel. When it comes to DC and it comes
his own fandom page.
Yeah, I told you he's a thing. I told you. First off, can you check me because I'm curious now if I missed anything up on that.
Shit, I win the fandom, so it's a bunch of advertisements.
The talking about the movie though with DC, I was really expecting this to be a little bit darker of a film when it came to the Superman movie, and I was kind of hoping for that a little bit because I am not on Cody's page when it comes to like we needed a lighthearted Superman. I'm like we need a tragic Superman who has going through something.
Well, I'd say a lighthearted Superman. It could still be like a story of just like hope. That's all I've ever said. Really, it's just like Superman represents hope,
Mm-hmm.
and they pull it off brilliantly with like the score.
Yep.
And whatnot, but like it doesn't need to be as dark as Zack Snyder's DC. It doesn't need to be as jokey and retarded as the Marvel universe. It can just be like a
Aquaman.
skit.
Make another movie like Aquaman.
I would say okay. Hold on. He's right on this point because like Aquaman, the issue that Cody's going to say about Aquaman is that it was a lowest common denominator film. There was nothing about Aquaman that actually like was risen to a level of like amazing storytelling.
No.
It was an action film, had a very simple plot to follow, had some jokes in it, so it had a pretty good balance. It had him losing his mom, and there was some tragedy in that. So and Jason Momoa did a good job playing the role he was given. But the movie itself is, I mean, I think Cody and I both want more from DC. I think what I would probably say is we need something more along the lines of, I've made this point before. Constantine is the only starting point for the DC universe that makes any sense.
Constantine's DC.
You're gonna
Yeah.
be in like I can't disagree with you or anything because I know more about DC than the general audience and whatnot, but general audience is not gonna agree with you. The starting point needs to be Superman, and obviously it's gonna be Superman for the new DC EU.
Yep.
To where it's like it. So it's gonna be hard for James Gunn because like he's coming off of Marvel, joke, going to DC where it's been dowering all this shit, and he's got to create a whole new universe, which he's already doing wrong in my opinion because all the shit that he has planned. But yeah, it needs to be like the where it's like he started off the universe where superheroes already exist. They're already going. It's almost like the Invincible.
No origin stories. They're just everyone's there, and
everyone's there.
This is the setting.
Superheroes are going rampant and whatnot, and it's almost like The Boys or whatever, to where I wouldn't say quite to that extent, but it's like The Boys to where it's like
pre-established.
There's heroes running amok or whatever, and Superman comes in and he's the beacon of hope. He's the beacon of like, hey, we should do better. And so
Yeah,
I like that starting point, but it's like going off of that.
where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I mean, you just have a bad guy show up and the heroes deal with it. That's going to be the plot of every movie in the DC universe going forward. There's not going to be any origin stories, or at least no like phenomenal origin stories where we have a breakout of something spectacular.
Love an
It's gonna
origin
be-
story of Damian Wayne.
Oh, that would actually be kind of cool. But if they don't do Dick Grayson properly in this, I'm just
They're
instantly
not
out.
doing Dick Grayson.
I mean, not in the current lineup, but I mean, it's longer than a 10-year franchise. If they do what they're planning on doing,
Well, it's not gonna be.
it'll fail. And we did. I mean, it'd be good if they didn't fail, but yeah. The what we need from DC as a starting point is we need Constantine as a starting story. We need Superman to exist in the DC universe, but he should be on screen as little as possible. He should be minimally used. You should have every other more grounded character exist and have the interactions basically not involve Superman at all until there's some like apocalypse level event that they have to deal with.
So
And then it should be like an Avengers thing where it's Justice League. So Snyder was onto something, but the focus on Superman was the mistake. He is the most powerful, and you're not giving any ground to any of the other characters. Justice League, like the Justice League movie where he was dealing with that, with the oh damn it, I don't want to get stuck here. I want to Darkseid, when they were dealing with Darkseid's minion in Justice League. They were losing and then they just call in Superman and game over, they win. And I'm just like, they need to not use Superman as much as possible. And they need to focus on the other characters that are... DC has a huge catalog of expansive characters that are all interesting and all super fun, but they always focus on the least interesting character, Superman, who has like one weakness as a rock, super boring for television, or super boring for the silver screen. He has very little character development to like explore narratively on screen, and I think Henry Cavill did the best job with that. I don't think we're gonna get a better retelling of like of his family and the interactions there. So we need John Constantine as the starting point, so you can see the powers of magic in the world and the powers of mortals and like how the mortals work in the world. Honestly, something like Doom, where it's like Constantine Batman partner up, would be a really interesting
do you
starting
think
point.
it would have been fun to have Keanu Reeves
No,
do Constantine 2? And
No.
that starts off the.
I no.
That would have been fun.
Him coming back can't fix it. Keanu Reeves,
Just starting off.
right? I still think no. I think there are.
Because in this, there's already like portal dimension. They're already starting off this universe with fucking different dimensions. and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yep.
So it's like, could have been fun to have another Keanu Reeves start off this DCEU.
Finding an actor who appears like Constantine is easy. Now then you find a good then you work with that pool. You find the best actor you can for it. If Keanu Reeves came back, it's all the novelty of the old movie with none of the substance of the old movie. So it's all of this. It's all the pomp and pampus of it. It's not good, and so it's just gonna piss people off. It'd be a bad starting point. I love Keanu Reeves. I have no like issues with him whatsoever playing in almost any role. But if he came back, it would only hurt the first movie, which to me is a cult classic. And I would not want to lose any. I would not want the first movie to be in any way affected by Keanu Reeves returning.
It introduced me to Pucifer.
True.
It's a band.
Boo.
Sounds like a good one.
What do you? Okay, but
Lead singer from Tool.
but
Anyway.
this is a development of my opinion evolved
But
a little bit on
no
this.
one would ever in the right mind start off the universe the way you want to with Constantine, because Constantine is such a niche character that no one knows about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like my opinion just evolved in real time in front of you, where I thought it should be just a Constantine movie, but Doom would actually be a really interesting starting point with Batman and Constantine. Batman gets people in theaters, Constantine gives people the substance, and he would be the main character of the film. That would be an interesting concept. The Doom films are some of the best animated. The Doom movies are some of the best DC animated films we got. So I think Constantine Batman partner up would be a really good way to keep a Justice League member in the movie while still having Constantine be the founding or the starting point of the universe, where he's kind of like the Doctor Strange, relatively the Doctor Strange.
Well, I think Batman should be the go-to of a starring universe. But in James Gunn's universe, there currently is no Batman, nor have they casted for it, and they don't know what they're doing with the Batman franchise. So it's like
Or Penguin.
as a normie,
Hopefully getting a new director.
no.
Robert Pattinson's the Batman. You didn't like that one?
I didn't. Boring.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, so we have the success of the Penguin.
Can I
watched-
just say
No, you
I
can't.
felt like I was wearing shades during that entire Batman movie.
That's cool.
That's fair. No, it's a dark movie.
Yeah.
That's not enough. I mean, like, here's the thing. There's a reason they do that. Like, the cinematography is designed like that because the setting is darker. Like,
You might be stepping into defending episode or season 8 of Game of Thrones, the war.
no, because I'm
like,
defending good
it's not-
cinematography,
yeah.
not bad cinematography. I'm defending good thing, not bad thing.
I know you guys like that movie, but if you ask me, that was the worst Batman ever made.
Oh, man, dude.
Even worse than Batman and Robin.
I guess I never saw it.
That's a little before his time.
I haven't
you've
seen all
seen
of the
it.
Batmans.
No,
Once
no.
you see
It's
Christian Bale,
George-
you've seen enough.
You've
It's been
seen-
great.
Seen them all.
You've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger as Freeze, right?
I can picture it. I feel
Oh,
like
wow.
I've seen a glimpse of it probably on TikTok or something.
I told you, dude.
Not even that much
Dude,
younger.
Those predate him. Those are like late 90s.
Yeah,
They're not going to be a film that, like, no, I
I'm
mean,
not going back to the 90s to watch Batman.
yeah, you
No,
shouldn't. There's not
yeah.
better. They're not
shouldn't.
better. They're worse.
Yeah.
There's an animated Batman Beyond movie that was great, but
Fair enough.
like, all right, so like starting the DC EU off, and you don't have a Batman. Would you rather start with a Superman or a Batman?
That's tough to say because
You want hope?
the Batman movies are so successful and you want to get a new one. You want to get it started out.
But the problem is,
Right away.
the same company already has a Batman that's currently ongoing.
I know.
And they don't
a
know what to
whoops.
do with it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but that's not actually that shouldn't impact too much. There's always been background Batman projects. Always. There's always been a Batman animated series while they were doing movies. There's always been Batman animated films. There's always been other Batman projects.
There hasn't been the Dark Knight that hasn't been like, all right, say the Dark Knight comes out and is a huge gangbuster and it's like, all right, we're gonna start off the DCEU. It's like, oh fuck, we already got established Batman. What the fuck do we do now?
Mhm.
That's the point that we're at with Matt Reeves and his Batman and the Penguin and all that shit. It's
Well-
like, all right, we already have this established thing. Batman did good, and it didn't do great, but it did good. The Penguin blew the fuck up on streaming services.
That's true.
And now we're about to start our new DCEU. Like, what the fuck do we do with Batman?
What you
It's
need
like, we want to continue Matt Reeves because we can make money off of that one.
Well, what you do with this is you
I
create
think he's going through a divorce right now, too.
You-
That's why we haven't got a script or anything.
the answer is you create a subsidiary. Warner Brothers creates a spin-off company, and the only role of the spin-off company is the DCEU. That's the only role of the spin-off company, and then you license Batman to the DCEU like studio. And they do that whilst Warner Brothers does what they want to do with the Batman project. So that's what you do. It's the same way you can make a Flash movie while having the Arrowverse on the CW or on Netflix.
Yeah, but no one watched that.
I know. I'm not saying it's the
No, this
I'm
one-
saying this is how you would do it on a practical level. You would spin off a studio, you'd have them work on the DCEU while you continue to make the Robert Pattinson and the Penguin and all of that stuff. That's how you do it on a practical level. I'm not saying the quality will be good or bad.
Well, you can't do that because the Penguin takes place in the Batman's universe, and that blew the fuck up to the popularity of no one even expected it to.
Oh, yeah.
Warner Brothers is like, I didn't expect this thing to fucking blow up this much.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hear me out.
Yep.
You ready? I am going to make a prediction on this movie.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah. So I think what they end up doing to start out the new DCU or whatever, that Ice Crystal Place is whatever the Justice Leagues get together, right?
No, that's the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And it will be the Justice Leagues get
No.
together.
It won't. So this is Superman's own home base. This is his own secret home hideout. It's like the Batcave is not the hangout for the Justice League, but Batman has a Batcave.
Okay, fine. They find a place that they all like work together as the Justice League, like they do in the comic books.
Yep, the Hall of Justice.
Anyways,
Yep.
So how that works is something happens like bad, and he wants to get the Justice League together, or like you make it more suspenseful and shit. But then
You do better than this.
he goes in. It's almost like they
Yeah.
started out as if like the Justice League is already put together, and when he goes into the room, Constantine opens up these portals, and then the characters you want to start DCU with. Yeah, you start building movies off of that. Well, isn't that what Constantine does? Like wormholes and shit?
He can. It's not,
So that's how they all meet there, and then
like-
they go out and do their thing.
Like, take Doctor Strange and make him like a badass.
That's what I was picturing, like what Doctor Strange could do.
there's a I'll recommend a movie to you. It's one you already have access to, so you'll
Is
get
it
it for free.
Constantine?
Yeah, but it's a well, no, it's not the
I
it's
want to
not
watch it. You guys have made me want to watch it.
you should see the Keanu Reeves one. But the Keanu Reeves one is far more grounded, and it's not actually as magical as
I would
his
say-
character can be.
I would
It's way-
say it's like a standalone. Don't even think of it like as a superhero or.
I
comic
never
book.
did. Like I just learned that about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Actually,
Now there are Constantine movies that I can recommend to you that are so good. So like Doom would be one of them. So like and he partners with Batman in it, so it'll be a character you recognize, easy to follow, super simple. But it'll show you what kind of magics he can do.
can we go back to my prediction?
Yeah, we didn't interrupt you. You stopped and was like, "What about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, here's what that would be." Do you remember? I was there.
I was finished.
Oh, you're done? Oh, good.
Yeah, I told
Oh,
you
thank
guys
God.
my prediction.
I thought we'd have to keep going. Just kidding, but
You guys are gonna watch this movie and be like, "Oh my god, he was right.
yeah.
He was right about everything."
He did it. He knew from the get-go. So so he goes to the Fortress of Solitude. Crypto brings him there. He's got the droids that are there to fix him up and make him healthy again. And then you go back into kind of classic trailer stuff where you start seeing the other Justice League members, and
when
this
it
is from
comes-
the original
When
trailer.
it comes to the Fortress of Solitude,
Sorry, the
'cause
middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning
I
of
know.
yours.
I was gonna explain it. I was gonna explain to Ty. Is that Fortress of Solitude is like basically like he has all this like krypton technology and whatnot. Like he can converse with the AI dad in some versions or whatnot, and the robots are basically from Krypton, and that's where they heal.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, like you said, it was like Talk said it was his bat cave, pretty much.
Yeah.
Towards
It's
it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Atlantic because no one can find me here.
Yeah.
his old ship had a bunch of Kryptonian technology in it. He has what's called the Codex, which has all of this history of Krypton and like the genes of Kryptonians. So I think the original plan of like Zor-El, his father, was for this to kind of be the way the Kryptonian species could survive and like fix itself. So yes, there's a lot more substance to the Fortress of Solitude, but for context, that was a good breakdown, Cody. But then at 2 minutes 40 seconds, it cuts over to the rest of stuff that we've seen from the original trailer. Nothing new. We see a version of Lex Luthor, who I don't think is going to be that. It could be good, but I'm not optimistic. I think that
I've heard rumors
ooh, this will be good. No, go ahead. I'm just being a dick.
that Lex Luthor is kind of an incel.
What does that
Yay.
mean?
It's just a
It's a derogatory term for people who can't get laid. It means involuntarily celibate.
yeah.
It means you can't like have
Oh,
like you
okay.
can't get out and meet people. That's what it's a derogatory term for like internet people.
I'm going through a little bit of that right now.
You learning?
Yeah.
Involuntary.
This movie seems like it's for me.
I'm on Lex.
I can
Luthor's
really
side.
relate to Luthor.
But apparently, he also traps his ex-girlfriends and whatnot into this other portal dimension. I think is what they refer to.
Oh, okay.
Towards like,
Damn gun.
yeah.
Shoot.
So it's like, oh, he talked.
I hope that's just a rumor.
People-
That sucks.
People equated like the movie and filming all this shit started way before the Elon Musk stuff. But people equated Luthor to be like Elon, towards like, oh, he's got 12 fucking ex-wives and 14 fucking kids or whatever, and he's just throwing his exes to the portal dimension. It's like, you can't talk bad about me, bitch. You know,
I love that with money. But we got so the trailer itself, not too much new past the original. I guess the idea is that these are the first like 5 minutes of the film, like him
they
landing
showed
and then the crypto
they
dog
showed
thing.
basically, like, I guess it would be the first 4 minutes because like the other half is just the trailer. But yeah, that's how the movie starts out: is Superman falling into the ice and
you had a comment to make about the
calling
music.
his puppy. I dig it.
You think the music's that good, huh?
Yep.
Like, I mean, the score.
It makes me want to go save a child.
Wow, that's that's a lot. You normally do not like saving children.
No, I usually smack him across the face, like stand the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure you
Don't
have
be a
not only
bitch.
not saved any children, but I think there's like 3 or 4 shallow graves that have
I
your
save
name on
I
them.
save children from poverty all the time.
It's you aren't in poverty if you're not alive.
We got to get back into this bullying conversation.
We don't have to. It's okay. But short and short of it is that Superman, we're gonna have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks about Superman. The movie itself could be really good. I'm hopeful that it is a good film. I want more good films. If James Gunn's the guy to do it, fantastic. I'm not that optimistic about Superman. It's not the way I think we should start the DC universe. It's not what I want, but it's what we're gonna get. So hopefully it's better than I'm expecting it to be.
I think he's a huge narcissist.
Who? James Gunn? Well, he put his own dog in his
Because
own
it's-
CGI Tamagotchi dog into the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's not Superman. It was like Superman Legacy, I think was the original name. It's not that anymore. It's James Gunn's Superman.
That sounds about right.
And
I mean,
it's James Gunn's DCU.
in fairness,
Like, he's in charge of everything.
Zack Snyder, Man of
That's his
Steel,
dog.
Zack Snyder, Justice League.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's not
no,
new. It's
yeah.
not just him. I mean, it's pretty commonplace for directors to be like, Ridley Scott's this,
Yeah.
right? Steven Spielberg's that.
And he inserted his own dog into the fucking movie.
Yeah. The story of his dog bouncing on him while he was trying to save the planet.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Gunn was trying to save the planet, and his dog was nipping at his heels.
We got one last story to jump into, so I think we just swing over to that if you guys are good with it. There is a little bit of an update on the Gina Carano lawsuit with Disney. So
Gina.
Gina Carano accuses Disney of stonewalling as trial date delayed to 2026. We covered this story last year. It was one of the bigger topics we had covered on the channel where Gina Carano's lawsuit made it past
Gina.
stop doing you could keep it, it's fine. But her lawsuit made it past dismissal. So if you're suing Disney for wrongful termination, and Disney has these ridiculously powerful law firms at their disposal, and the law firms are trying to dismiss the lawsuit, and you make it past that, you're in. You're gonna get to discovery. You're gonna get to start pulling emails and stuff. You're gonna be able to publish that shit. You're gonna be able to start making all of these things public. And so that was the big important news. But they keep pushing back, and apparently motion to compel filed after 8 months of reported deflection and stalling. So Disney's doing what they probably should be doing from their perspective, is delay this as long as possible, because right now everyone fucking hates you.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Disney. They're not going to, like, in the court of public opinion, Gina Carano like beats them
And
a million times out of 10.
The problem is with when it comes to Disney, it's like, oh, we're gonna fight this. It's like you're fighting Elon Musk's lawyers because
That-
Elon Musk is backing Gina.
Yeah, some people might not know that yet. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so
yeah,
Elon Musk came out early days of when he was owning Twitter. So in somewhat early days when he was owning Twitter and Gina Carano got in trouble, Elon put an announcement out that he was going to be funding her lawsuit. So Gina Carano has the claim. She's the one who was wronged. Elon Musk is funding the lawsuit, paying for her lawyers so that they can actually fight Disney. And the best part about this is that now that they are to the point where they're going to start getting discovery, Elon is probably suspecting that this discovery is going to reveal a lot of things about what Disney was doing with their advertising boycott against X when Elon took over. Because Disney had a big role to play in an advertising boycott against X. So he's probably hoping that if he funds Gina's lawsuit, there's going to be a perk for him out of it too.
yeah. There was that whole there was like a war basically. What was it, last year or something? Where
Ukraine.
yeah, no one gives a fuck about that.
Old news.
No, the more important war, where Disney Disney was like, oh, we're not going to advertise on X anymore, and fuck Elon and whatever. And Elon was at a press conference being asked about this, and he's like, well, if what was this?
So
Like, if you don't want to advertise on
Yeah.
on X or whatever, and it's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, so in the, like, I think it was the WEF, I think. It wasn't at the World Economic Forum. I'm pretty sure Elon was at, or you're right. It was a
Yeah.
big convention. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, is in the crowd watching Elon Musk on stage, and Elon Musk was talking about how advertisers were trying to get Elon to start censoring people on X and start applying a lot more stipulations to the X platform or maintain what they were already doing. And Elon said, "You're not going to be able to bribe me with money." It's like, I'm like, if you want to bribe me with money, if you want to boycott X, go fuck yourself. And apparently, like, only a short while before he was on stage, he was having it out with Bob Iger privately about the boycott and what Bob Iger and Disney were doing with backing out of advertising on X and actually helping submit the boycott for other people to pull their advertising from X.
The clip is great too because Elon says "go fuck yourself" or whatever, and the interview is like, "What do you mean by that?" And Elon's like,
doubles.
basically, it's like, "Make myself clear." It's like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yep, it was beautiful. Bob Iger in the crowd. Everyone, so I don't know, I'm pretty sure this is confirmed, but if it's not, I think everyone really speculated that it was directly, it was directly at Bob Iger.
Yeah.
That's the speculation, that was directed at Bob Iger for his part in the boycott. So now, that's just some context. So Gina Carano was fired, and her claim is wrongful termination because, or it was wrongful termination, discrimination is at the same time based on.
Why was she fired?
What's that?
Oh, I was kind of setting you up. Boy, why was she fired? You know,
So she was fired because during in the early days of the Mandalorian show being out there, when she was in the Mandalorian as one of the star characters in the Mandalorian, and she posted a comment on Twitter at the time it was Twitter, basically comparing the censorship and the cancellations that conservatives were going through to like Jews in concentration camps and stuff.
During like BLM and all that.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And so Disney fired her for that. Well, since then, and even at that same moment in time, other people were making the opposite points, but far more egregious, where it's like, these people need to die and these people need to not be allowed to be in society. We need to imprison all of those people and put them in camps to re-educate them. I'm not citing any specific examples, but I'm just trying to put out the tone for context. That was kind of what, so she was saying she was wrongfully terminated for what she was posting privately, and it had nothing to do with the quality of her work or like anything she was doing on the show or for Disney. And now a great example of Disney's hypocrisy is Rachel Zegler with Snow White, where now the Snow White actress from the movie that just came out, we talked about it a bit last week, she was calling for like pro-Palestine, from the river to the sea, like bashing on Israel and the war in Gaza, all of that stuff. And she's just been like ripping that movie to shreds and is, I think, attributed single-handedly to that movie's failure. I mean, obviously the quality of the film had a lot to do with it, but she was the one who like wrecked the absolute marketing campaign from the ground up. So that they have examples of this hypocrisy, this double standard, where against conservatives they could send them to the shadow realm, but if it's anyone else, they're a national treasure to Disney, and they're protected and they're insulated, and there's nothing you could do to like ruin their reputations at these companies.
Gina was basically she said some things like where like Christian conservatives or whatever, or basically like I want to equate it to like the Jews in the 40s or anything, but like it was something along those lines to where it's like you're getting ousted in Hollywood because you have these certain opinions or whatever. And then Pedro Pascal, which plays the Mandalorian, which is on the same fucking show that she's on, it says the opposite opinion, just like going after conservatives and whatnot. And it's like all these people are just fucking retards and need to be put in re-education camps and whatnot. He's fine, but she gets fired for it.
Yep. So
and then she also refused to put pronouns in her Twitter bio. That was another big thing.
Yeah, that was that's fun.
No, she didn't refuse. She what'd she put? She made fun of it. It's like I don't know, like hee haw or some shit like that.
So the here's the actual like post from Gina Carano from the other day where she's talking about it. So Gina says, "It's been 8 months since my lawyers at Share Jafe first requested basic documents and information from Disney that my damages expert needs to properly evaluate the financial harm I have suffered because of Disney's unlawful firing of me. The information, and we're going to move over to X, get the rest of the post. We're not reading. Okay, we're not reading all of that. But basically just they were asking for the documents. My lawyers have now had to go to the extent of filing a motion to compel, filed yesterday, April 2nd. This motion is being filed to involve the court to demand Disney provide the information to my team is clearly entitled. So again, she's just summarizing what's all posted here is that she's asking for this. She's putting a motion in front of the court. This is going to be a slow-moving battle, and it's in Disney's best interest to keep this thing slogging along because they never wanted to get past. The whole point of this law case basically is to expose Disney for their hypocrisy and hiring practices, and it's not about like money or financial or anything. It's just exposing Disney. Well, and Gina's been fucks they are. Right. And Gina's been successful. She's had a successful career. She's not Elon Musk or Bob Iger rich, but I mean, she's had a successful career, and Elon Musk doesn't need the money. She comes from wealth too. That too. So like she doesn't need anything. So you're right. That's the goal. And we need to just hopefully it plays out and picks up the pace a little bit. I mean, court cases don't unravel fast. But it is interesting that they had to put forward this extra motion in order to get the ball continuing. The courts have an interest in this moving quickly too. You know, it takes up the court's time to have these court cases drag on this long. There's more time to file motions, more time to hear complaints. It's all this extra stuff. Courts are the laziest fuckers in the galaxy. They are. And like, all right, yeah, no, we have you on grand larceny charges. We'll see you in 6 months for another trial. Yeah. And we're going to hold you. Yep. Oh. Dude, I could talk about the courts for a year straight without taking a breath. So we're not going to dig too much deeper into that. But that's the news, guys. Update with Gina Carano lawsuit. She's had to file a motion to compel in order to get Disney to move the ball forward. And what she's asking for are just basic steps that Disney should already be in compliance with. It shouldn't be something that gets dragged out. So I think that's basically going to be I think that's everything. We had other stories, but it's kind of gone on pretty long. Is there any other stories you guys wanted to cover? I mean, I want to talk about me more, but I want to talk about me. I was actually thinking I wanted to talk about Cody more. Yeah. Boo. No, I'm a very interesting person. I don't do anything. What? No, you're not. You're not. You were the least interested. Oh, don't get heartbroken about it. Shut up. You said much meaner things. All right, guys. Bringing bullies back. But we are going to... That was good. That was good, guys. All right. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Third Party Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are moving our goalposts. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. Help us out. It would really mean a lot, and it would help support the channel. Share the video out there. Make sure to post in the comments what your favorite topic was, if there's any topics you want us to cover in the future. And as always, go tell your stories. Peace out. Tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.